All right. All right, everybody here. Hope you can all hear me. I don't know if the music is too loud in some way. I'm trying to adjust it here so it doesn't get in the way. Welcome to everybody that is watching this live stream, live video. Appreciate your support. Let me know if you can hear me well as well. I want to say thank you to everyone that is watching this video. Appreciate it. Appreciate your support. Making sure everything is correct here. The audio has been a bit weird today. Oh, okay. I'm in a different page. Making sure everything is good. Making sure things are good here. Oh well. Tried to set everything. I set it up and then of course I went, took a shower, took the dog out, all of that. And when we're doing that, we kind of lose some of that. But hey, again, I want to say thank you. Hey, late night trip, happy Saturday afternoon. Thank you, my friend. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate your support. I appreciate everyone's support. I apologize that I did not announce when I was making the video. I got it's life, busy yesterday after I left work early. I had the doctor's appointment with my wife. We went to do certain things. Then we have to pick up my nephew, had to take him to eat dinner, things like that. It gets hectic, other things that we had to do. So ultimately I didn't get a chance to do anything or prepare anyone for it. And then in the morning today, we had a lot of things to do. We have to go with my wife. She wants to do some things in the house. So we have to go to Home Depot. So to get some stuff that we need to work on in the house. So we went there, family first, wife first. You want a happy life, happy wife. So that's what they say. Happy life, happy wife. Oh, happy wife, happy life, whatever. I forgot. But you know the idea. It's just the drill of, family first. Then we went to the store, to do the usual weekly groceries shopping, which is actually we go to Sam's Club and then we go to other stores. So we do all the things. So it was busy, got home, and definitely like the day went by really, really quick. But we're here, and I want to say thank you for those who have that have taken the time right now to sit, to come here and to say hello. I appreciate that. It's always appreciated. I am grateful for your friendship, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. So today we had a lot of things to talk about. As always, as I always mention, I always get the opportunity. I always do the adjustments in the sense that if you come in the aftermath of this video, you don't get a chance to watch the live video, I get the following day, as soon as I get a chance, I get the timestamp. So that means that you can pick and look through the menu. If you don't want to watch the entire video, you don't have the time to watch the whole video, you can go to that particular section of the video and you can, if you're only interested in one particular collectible, so you can choose. I try to help on that because of course these videos can get lengthy and sometimes we don't have the time to watch it all. So, I try to help you with that, and also helps me out because you're watching the video. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Today we had a lot to talk about, and I want to cover those things here on the list before we get into the whole thing. I want to talk about, of course, starting with action figures. I want to talk about Threezero. If you're a fan of Evangelion, they have a new figure for that, so we're going to look at it very quick. Mondo tease release an X-Men animated series Magneto 1/6 scale figure. People are excited for that figure. So it was only a short window of time, but we're going to cover that today. We're going to look at it today. X06, they released a new Star Trek The Next Generation Locutus of Borg figure. If you're a fan of what X06 is doing, we're going to look at it today. Star Ace Toys released an action figure for fans of The Boys of Starlight. So we're going to look at it today. Hot Toys just released a new Batman tactical batsuit based on the Zack Snyder's Justice League. We're going to look at it today. Now, on the statue side, we're going to look at Kotobukiya. On the figure side, we're going to talk about the Legends of the Heroes, Rixia Mao, 1/8 scale figure. We're gonna look at it today. Diamond Select Toys. This week they released a lot of new things. If you're a fan of the Gallery Diorama, if you're a fan of the Power Rangers, you're a fan of the Green Hornet. Also, they had a new Moon Knight Gallery Diorama. They also have some interesting buzz. They have a 1/6 scale mini buzz of Spider-Man. Looks interesting. And also they have an Avengers Endgame Captain America buzz. If you're a fan of the mini buzz line that they do, which has always been amazing. So we're going to look at it today. And also we're going to look at a Gentle Giant. Gentle Giant released a Boba Fett jumbo figure. They have a Grand Inquisitor mini buzz. Looks interesting if you're a fan of in this case of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hey, Kid Fresh, hey, JP. Have you talked about Pure Arts Monster Hunter World Pukei 126 scale in a past video yet? If not, can you talk about it today? Thanks. I did talk about it. When it was it? I just don't remember. You would have to kind of go back into some of those live videos and look at the menu, look at the description, because I did talk about that figure when I had the chance. The statue, which I think is fascinating. It's pretty cool looking. If you're a fan of Monster Hunter, then definitely you're gonna like. I did like it. I think it's good. But I did talk about it in the channel on one of these live videos. I don't remember which one. I'm sorry if I don't remember. I might tell you when if I look really quick. I'll look at it for you in a moment. But then also we're gonna talk about the mini bus that Gentle Giant is releasing a few. They also have a Bo-Katan Ladies in 3D bus. We're gonna look at it today. Now with Weta, they released a new 1/6 scale statue. We're going to look at it today. Zodiakos Studio. This company released a new Grimmjow Jaegerjaquez 1/6 scale statue. If you're a fan, of course, of Bleach. Tweeterhead. The highly anticipated Aquaman is now on pre-order. Looks really interesting. Only in 1/6. People are disappointed because a lot of people were hoping for a quarter scale, but you know the future is unwritten right now with Tweeterhead, so we don't know what's going to happen in the future. But 1/6 scale collectors can be satisfied with this Aquaman for sure. XM Studios released a classic Batman statue based on the art of Mark Brooks. They have a 1/6 scale and a quarter scale statue, a version. So we're going to look at that today. Unique Art Studio, they released a Digimon Adventure statue, 1/4 scale statue. It looks impressive. We're going to look at it today. The company Freeing released a 1/4 scale statue of Saturo Gojo. If you're a fan of Jujutsu Kaisen, we're going to look at it today. PCS Collectibles, they released the 1/4 scale Cammy statues. They have a set of different statues. We're going to look at this Cammy today. Prime One Studio, they released finally the Prowler, the Aliens Fire Team Prowler. I was thinking that it would be bigger as they announced it, but actually the diorama is not that big. But we're going to look at it today. Also, they released this week the Joker and Punchline by Jorge Jimenez at the 1/3 scale statue, which I talked about it before, but now it's available at Sideshow. So maybe we can look at it very quickly. And then we also have another company called Dear Lord Studio releasing their second statue. Really a huge statue based on their own particular art. This is based on their Dark Blood series, so we're gonna look at it today. It's they have a 1/6 scale version of it, but also have a 1/2 scale, which is a massive. So we're gonna look at it today. And finally, we're gonna look at Queen Studios. So we're gonna look at Alita Battle Angel. They have a 1/4 scale version of this statue, but they have a 1/2 scale of this statue. And it's it's a life-size statue. It is very, very expensive, of course. But we're going to look at those things today. And I want to say again, thank you very much, all of you, for taking time to be here with me. Any comments, of course, you're more than welcome. Now, let me see, in regards to, someone asked, let me see if I can find it very quickly. My friend, Kid Fresh, that asked for this statue. Let me come here to this place. Let's see if we can find it there. Hold on. I'll let you know. All right, let me see, because it's been a while. You know, I have done so many of these videos. It's hard for me to remember. But I did talk at some point. And let me see. I'm just trying to get here if I can help somebody here out. It's hard to remember, but I did talk about it. I know. I would say my apologies if I don't remember right now, because of course we've been coming along on all these live videos. But yeah, I will ask you, just look through the videos, so through my live videos, Oh, okay, I think I found it. Trying to see if I can find it, man. I don't know if it was prior to SaishoCon or something. I think it was, I don't know. It was somewhere. If I didn't write on the description, you might find it as, I would say as look, anything that has to do with pure arts. I don't know, remember. I know I did talk about it. It's just, you know, we've been covering so much ground in these videos. We talk about a lot of things, and to be honest with you, it's hard for me to remember everything. But I would say just go back. My apologies. Go back to those videos and try to go through the videos, and every time you see, go through the description and look at the timestamps and look at the pure art stuff, and then you can find it. I think it's fine. You know, I don't have a problem with the statue. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So just go back to the video, and I remember, because I hate to kind of go back to a lot of things when we have a lot of things in front of us. But yeah, I did talk about it. I think it's cool. Love the design, love the detail. It's not that big of a statue in comparison to other statues, but I think it's cool. If you're a big fan of it, now it's hard to compare because there's not many options out there. I think it's great because other company will be, in this case, Kineticets also has been doing some pure art, some of the Monster Hunter stuff, but they haven't done anything lately. I don't know what, you know, because Kineticets has been in transition now that they've been purchased. So I don't know what the future will bring for that company. But you know, definitely it's nice to be building to build a collection of all these different monsters. So I don't know. But yeah, I think pure arts would be an option. It's a good option. They've been doing amazing stuff. I don't know what the future will be in any case for that line anyway. But I think pure arts, you know, they sell quality stuff, and hopefully they can expand on that in that collection. But the piece, I think, is nice. All right, my friends, so let's get into it today. Let's get into the stuff. And for that, I want to come to Saisho Collectibles first. Let me see if we can make it happen. But again, I want to say thank you to all of you for taking time to be here with me. And we're going to look at Saisho right here. Waiting for this to load. Okay. So we're gonna first. I want to talk about this is the latest releases. Of course, we don't talk about everything. I try to cover as much as I can. And we're gonna definitely cover a lot of the things that we are seeing here that you're looking at, and we're gonna find the time to discuss and see the pluses and the cons, and the things that I consider actually are highly collectible, and the things that I don't personally consider are the best option. So let me see if I can find it, because it seemed that it went away. It was there. Oh yeah, right there, I see it. You know, so this card didn't skip my mind, but right here, this is the Robodo 4th Angel, and this is of course based on the Evangelion. What is that? The rebuild of Evangelion film, and they have done figures before. This is gonna release sometime between January and March of 2023. $150, which is a standard price for what a Threezero has been doing. A very interesting figure. It's not a big figure. I want to give you, let's see, we can see the dimensions here. You're looking at only 10 inches tall. As a figure, it's made out of ABS, POM, PVC, die-cast zinc alloys. So it's very resilient. The materials that they've been using here is very strong. It's gonna fit with the other Evangelion pieces they have already constructed and built. It's pretty interesting as from a design standpoint. And definitely there's a lot of Evangelion fans out there. So here you can see, really cool. And actually those arms are pretty large, so it's a pretty large figure, and it's gonna do some really cool things here, as you can see. And look at that. So definitely these are figures if you want to really like come in to do like different displays and stuff, then definitely that is an option that that is pretty pretty neat in my opinion. So definitely looks kind of interesting. I just wanted to point out for those who are fans of Evangelion, this is definitely something that they've been doing here. You can see the companion pieces. You got Test Type 01, you have the Model 2. So they've been doing all the, as you can see, they've been doing all these models with the different mechas, the Evangelions. Now they're going into the angels, into the, which are these creatures, that even in this case the Evangelions, the mechas fight against. So that gives you an idea of what they're doing. It seems that they're expanding this line with this figure, so it's interesting to see what Threezero is doing, and I think Threezero offers great quality with these pieces, and I think the price point is good. It's not like super expensive. It's not cheap either, but in comparison to what other companies are doing with these figures, like even Bandai, you know, Tamashii Nation, all of that, I think this price is fair. I would say that. Now, I want to come to Mondo tees, but I think this already sold out at Mondo, so we'll wind up having to come to Facebook for this. Let's see if we can find it. Shop about. Let's see if we can find the blog. Maybe we can see. This is the piece that I want to really cover today, and definitely Mondo sometimes right there. Magneto. Now, the X-Men, the animated series, I think it is something that we grew up in the 90s loving very much. It was the closest thing you can think of. I think a lot of people came to know the X-Men because of the X-Men animated series. That's bottom line, you know, around the world. You know, the X-Men that were popular among comic book readers, but they didn't have the same popularity of Spider-Man or the same popularity of Fantastic Four, even Fantastic Four, or even Captain America, the Avengers. But I think the animated series really put him on the map beyond just the borders of the United States, or beyond the borders of just comic book readers. It really brought a lot of the stories that were classic to people that were not available, that didn't have access to comics. So to me, that's one of the greatest victories of the animated series. And definitely what Mondo did is that they released an art print, which looks pretty cool. But I think the most coolest thing is this figure that, of course, we saw at San Diego Comic-Con. I think it's fantastic. It's really cool. Of course, some people were pointing out that it's technically like an oversized version of... they were calling this as, I don't know, like a Marvel Legends figure from Hasbro. I would disagree. I think there is differences here. You know, what Mondo does on the figures, they're 1/6 scale. They're articulated because they're figures. But definitely the art that is represented here, or bringing this art to represent the animated series, is just perfect. I think they did a fantastic job. Now, the price for this one was $225, which I think it's a really, I think it's fair. It's a fair price, $225. And here you can see you can order, and the people involved here, you got the concept design, you got Joel Ard, Alex Brewer, the sculptors Alex Brewer, the paint by Mark Bristow, the packaging art by Dan Wiesenmeyer, and also the packaging design also by Jaegerjaquez, and the photography is done by Raul Barrero. Now, I think they did a fantastic job. Everything that comes with this figure, as you can see, the different portraits, it's amazing. I think I love the detail. I would say even with the unmasked portrait, I wouldn't call this a Jim Lee version, because it's not, even though it's based on the art of Jim Lee, but it's its own thing based on the art of the animated series. So I think they did a really good job with it. You know, all these different portraits, the different hands, the things that you can do. You got the stand-up portrait, angry portrait. You got the Eric Lensher portrait, the Evil Morph portrait, the two magnetized energy rings, the magnetized metal shards, bendable metal fragments, two open palm magnetized hands. I think it looks great. Now, I wouldn't say that I'm crazy about the articulation on the knees. I feel that is the weakest point, at least on the vision, but I understand and I kind of see why they did it that way, to give a little more mobility to the figure, so it's not as stiff, so you can do certain things and move certain things and do certain poses, which in the end, I think it's interesting. It's an interesting concept and idea, the way they represent it here, which is really cool. Now, you can see Morph right there, or the face of Morph, and that is awesome. Now, I love this picture here. This photograph is awesome. Looks really cool. And that, the art print, and also is going to be the art that is going to be used in the box. I think it's excellent. They did a fantastic job with this one. Now, the poster is it's by Phantom City Creative. This one is going to cost $50. Posters are hard to come by, but you can also you do the check out Marvel shipping page for more information. So you get all this stuff. Now, this already sold out because it was only a 2-day window, which is a shame that it was sold out. It was only for 2 days. And I will tell you one thing. If I do have a criticism, and I'm going to take you to Facebook. If I have a criticism of what they're doing right now, Mondo, is this a small window of times. And I know people kind of like it because it kind of prompts people to jump into pre-ordering things right away. But I don't think that, particularly in this economy, when things are a little bit hard, it really puts more pressure on people to really convince people to do it. I will tell you, I love this figure. I was really keen to pre-order in this, but I have a lot on my plate right now. And I'm to the point where I say, you know what? I don't feel like I need to get it right away. I'm gonna have to wait. Now, of course, because other things that we have done, and we have seen these pictures, like this picture, for example, they have beautiful pictures. Look at this one right here. The problem that I have with this window times is that, you know, it doesn't really give enough, you know, it doesn't really help, in my opinion, to promote pieces, to even the companies to sell more than expected. I feel that the companies end up selling less. Perhaps what they're doing, of course, is just the exclusive version. There's an exclusivity thing there where sometimes it's an extra thing that they'll give you, but to be honest with you, I don't think any of the extras they can give to this figure will be, or the stuff that we receive, I think it's complete and it well. But the same happened with Wolverine. When it came out, there was an exclusive San Diego Comic-Con version. There was the other exclusive through the website thing, and it was just only one tiny thing that was your supporter, that the difference was so minimal. And then they give you a lot of the same extras on the other versions that came out, because they have a previews version, then they have the regular version available there. So they have a different versions of a Wolverine, and it's still for sale most places. And you can still find even the original exclusive. Some people, sometimes they sell it on eBay for a little over the price, not really that much, because they have flooded the market with a lot of these figures. So in my opinion, even though I understand what they're trying to do with this window, I didn't feel the need to pre-order right away. And you know, perhaps people will disagree with me in that idea, but I feel that, you know, as much as I like it, you know, when I know that it's going to be available in some other venues, or even they're going to have it there for sale, because the same happened with Batman, the animated series. They redid it, or they re-released the piece, and they have the Joker recently. It's already available. They had it for a small window of time. Now they have it available again at the store, and now even Sideshow's carrying it. So to me, that's kind of like one of those things where I feel like, do I really want to kind of jump the gun and just get it? Although I like this figure, believe me, I'm gonna get it at some point, but I don't need the pressure. I don't like to be pressed or to be pressured to do anything I don't want to do. I feel that that's something that kind of, for me, it's always been the case. As soon as I start seeing things that I don't like, believe me, and I love this picture here is awesome. I love this picture. That is an awesome picture. But you know, the fact that Wolverine's already available and all of that, it's like, I feel like, man, you know, like, you know, it's already available. You know, I'll wait. You know, yeah, I might lose something here and there, but ultimately, you don't. Once you find the perfect display option, you hardly do the change outs. You barely do like switch out parts. So, now I'm not saying with this that I'm discouraging people for getting this figure. I think if you feel like you want to do it, by all means, go ahead and do it. I think it's a fantastic looking piece. But I'm not like feeling like, oh my god, you have to. It is a must right away. So it is a cool piece. It is a nice, and definitely it's a great piece. I like it. I think Wolverine is also a must. But again, you can find, and I'll give you an idea. If we go back to Mondo, like we can find, for example, here, just to give you an idea, Wolverine. Right there. Still available. That's the regular, that's this version, Wolverine. $200, and it's pretty much the same thing. It's the same thing they had before. The only difference with this Wolverine is that he has an extra portrait, the exclusive version. The extra portrait has a version with, he has like it's the same face, but it has like more sadder face, but it's the same as this one right here. So in my mind, I'm like, you know what? You don't need to go for it. Like, you don't need to. You know, that's just my opinion. Perhaps I'm wrong. This is the same portrait as this one, but it just has sadder face. Although this already sad as it is. So technically everything else you get on this version is the same. So my point is, like, do you really want to jump into it when ultimately they're going to have this version down the road again. I believe they will do it. I just believe it. If it doesn't happen, believe me, it's gonna end up at some point somewhere else, you know. So that is just my opinion. You can find the same figure at Sideshow and also Big Bad Toy Store. So yeah, I just don't see the point of just jumping on it right away. All right, my friends, I want to move now, and I want to move to X06. I'm still looking at the comments. You know, you're welcome to leave any comments, or if you want to share something else, just let me know. But I want to come to X06, and this is the new piece, Locutus of Borg. That's what it's called. And I love X06. I have mentioned this. This company, it's a small company, but they're doing amazing figures. And this next generation is the line that they start just gumping and ramping up. And I think they have such an amazing opportunity here. Now, you can see there's two different versions. Here's the same version here. Is the Locutus. Is a $20 non-refundable pre-order deposit that you can do through them. You can also find this at Sideshow, or you can go to Big Bad Toy Store. The final amount due is going to be $245 plus shipping and the deposit. So technically, all of that is going to be included. And then you got the Locutus version, $20 non-refundable pre-order deposit, final amount due $245 plus shipping deposit for Australia delivery. So they have a different version where you can actually order if you're in Australia because of the high cost of Australia. It's nice that they're thinking of Australian collectors, because believe me, they've been having a lot of troubles, in Australia because of this COVID and all of the restrictions in Australia they've been having with COVID. So many companies, they stopped doing business there. But X06 wants to really help a lot of collectors there that are interested on getting into it. And it's nice that they're doing it. Now, looking at the version, it's the same version, this and that. I would say I like the portrait. I think, you know, the display, it's so good. And the likeness with the actor is amazing. Of course, this is if you're into this, you know, this particular part of the series. This is actually celebrating the 35th anniversary. And I don't think I can expand those pictures. You can see them, but you cannot open them. So kind of gives you an idea. Here you can come. The pre-order cutoff is October the 3rd, and so that's another thing X06 does. They order they made to orders. They order a certain number, and after a particular date, they stop selling it there through them. Although you can go to Sideshow and you order through them, you feel more confident. You know, Sideshow is always it's a great company that you can do a lot of things that, you know, you want to do. But if we come to Sideshow, like, let's go to Sideshow, because of course Sideshow's been carrying the piece as well. And there we can also look at the pictures in a better light. Let me see, we can see it here. Again, you can go to Big Bad Toy Store too if you feel more comfortable there. Here you can see the figure. It's pretty cool. I love the portrait more than the body. It's $245 here, which is the same price as over there, but you're gonna pay more shipping here in comparison to what you can pay over there. Now, it's a February of next year and April, somewhere in between. Everything that comes with this piece, and that's the same thing that is gonna come with there's no exclusivity or no exclusive version at the website as X06 website. So you can come to any place and you can order the same thing as long as you order from them and they have it available. It has an LED light, which is amazing. It has interchangeable, all the parts there, and the detail is amazing. We have seen the prototype. It looks really good. The body, I'm not necessarily keen of it, or the way the body proportions are. That's one thing that I can say. But there's one thing that I love about X06, and I follow the owner of the company, is also a friend on Facebook. He always internally improve the quality of his figures. He is a small company, and he's invested. He's a big fan of Star Trek, and he is more concerned about trying to produce the best product. And if there's improvements that need to be made, he will make those improvements. He's looking toward those improvements, and he always shares the process with people. And I'm telling you, he's a great guy. If you can follow him on Facebook, follow the page of X06, because he's going to give you all the insight that is necessary. I had talked about him before, so he's a great guy. So follow X06, because this company is definitely doing something amazing. I think this is a great figure, and I think we're gonna see improvements, and definitely the options are coming for this line, and definitely that portrait is just as perfection in my opinion. This is a great figure. I think it's gonna do really, really well, and definitely it's great to see X06 doing that. Now, let me take you here to see on X06, because you could come here to X06, of course, and look at what they do here on their page. Definitely, they've been growing and expanding, and they've been doing really amazing stuff here. You can see all the figures they do, and I talk about them all the time here in the channel. I think that this company has potential, a lot of potential. So follow them because they're doing really, really awesome stuff, and it's really, really cool to see a company that does the stuff that they do, which is amazing. So really amazing. I think they've been doing amazing stuff here. So cool to that. Now I want to talk about another company, and now going back to Sideshow. I want to come back to Sideshow because I want to talk about another company that I talked about last week. They do certain things. They do a lot of things with their statues, busts, or whatever. But if you're a fan of the boys, there's a lot of fans out there of the boys. Then you have a Starlight right here, for your collection. Now there are two different versions. They got the deluxe version, has extras, and then you got a collector's edition that has less things. Now I will tell you this: the likeness with this, I'm not crazy about the likeness. I don't think it looks anything like the actress. And the actress, she's not really big. She's not, she's very tiny. She has a very small frame. But I don't know. It just doesn't really look like her for some reason. Now, if you look at the collector's edition, which is the regular version, I'll show you some of the pictures. This is everything that comes with it. So it comes with, in this case, the simple base. It comes with some rays there. It comes with, the different hands. So all pretty cool. And then you look at the deluxe version, and this version has everything plus some other things that go along on that base. So it has two different bases, the regular base and one that has more detail, like he's gonna be, I think, flying in air or something like that. I will tell you, I found this very expensive. I found it expensive for what it is. $279. It's like they're asking the price for like a high. Not even Hot Toys gets that far with the prices. I feel that, and Hot Toys offers you more. I feel that the likeness is what they're asking here for it. I don't think it merits that. I don't think it merits that much money on this figure. So I gotta be honest. The likeness is not there. It looks more like a Barbie doll. The face. It doesn't have the same quality. The proportions are a bit off in some way. I don't know. If I totally understand when companies are, even the clothing feels like kind of cheaply made, and I don't want to say that that's what it is, but I feel like it looks a bit cheaply made. She looks more like a Barbie doll. I just don't see this. I cannot compare this with Hot Toys. I feel that Hot Toys produces better quality, and other companies are producing better quality. I just don't see it on this one, unfortunately. And I don't want to dismiss Star Ace here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe when we get to see this as a prototype or something in person, perhaps in the next Sideshow Con or whatever, they have some of these pieces to showcase and then we can see in person. But so far, I'm not impressed. And yeah, I will tell you, the legs that they have this I think the great thing about this, I would say, is the articulation on the legs. It has like the more the hidden articulation, which I think is excellent. I like when companies do that because you don't see it there. So maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just my impression of things so far. Maybe we need better pictures than this. But so far, I don't know. And another thing that throws me off is just I don't see the actress there. I see someone there, a pretty girl there, but I don't see her face. And to me, that's important. If you're trying to bring stuff that is based on actors and actresses, you want to be as close as possible to that source material, because the likeness of the actor and the actress. But here, I don't see it. And I think on that, Hot Toys has a much better hand, and other companies do. Yeah, like like my friend here, Luis Mendoza. Yeah, it looks worse than a Barbie doll. It doesn't. It looks like a Barbie doll, and they're asking $379. I'm like, I don't know, man. I just don't. This is the type of thing that is gonna probably sit there for a while, and it's not gonna do so well. And it is a disappointment because I feel that, they could have done something better, and this is the part with other companies. And, they have done some of these figures. And believe me, they have done some of this. Like here, you can see some of the ones that they have done, the Star Ace 2. I think Billy Butcher has a much better likeness with the face. I think that one was a much better likeness there. And they asked for $300 for that figure. And they also have, the Homelander right there. Look at this one right here. I think Homelander looks better. The Porter looks better. The body, I wouldn't say, the body is fine. It's not. I think the Butcher looks better. Homelander will be second, and then we have, of course, Starlight. Starlight will be it's not bad. It's just the likeness is not there, and they asking for $379. I just don't see the value. I just don't. And sorry, Star Ace. You do some good work. I will tell you, you do good work. But on this one, I'm not on board. So my apologies for that. All right, now talking about a company that definitely always does something that I'm on board, that I think that they do great stuff. It's definitely Hot Toys. You know, Hot Toys is always releases as a figure. They release what the people are asking for. Now, this have the Zack Snyder Justice League, $300, like $300 for this figure. It's going to release sometime between October of 2023 and March of 2024. That's another problem in that you have always with Hot Toys. You know, the release time, it's always, they tell you one thing, it never, you know, it's never that way. Now, definitely this is a much better deal. For $300, of course, the photographs and look better, you know, all of that. But believe me, the base that goes with that's another thing that I'm loving right now of what Hot Toys is doing. They're departing from the classic boring looking bases, very generic bases that they were using for everything, and they only have a sticker on top of it. They're moving away from that into trying to give you some bases that they tell a story. And to me, that's what really separates right now Hot Toys, because Hot Toys is moving. Of course, there's competition coming their way. You have, you know, in this case, InArt from Quinn Studios. They're doing amazing stuff, and they're really bringing this amazing looking bases. So, you know, Hot Toys needs to compete. So what Hot Toys is doing is trying to inject that, you know, and bring in some of these interesting looking bases that are very different. And I love that even it seems with this suit that there's some battle damage to it because he's in the middle of battle. I think it looks impressive. Now, the portrait with the mouth like that, I'm not necessarily crazy about it, but I'm not sure if you can change that in like in other figures that they have this removable mouth. Oh yeah, it does. He has the more classic. I like this one more than that one, but that gives you an idea. Unfortunately, I don't think he has a removable portrait where you have the face of Ben Affleck. I'm not sure if this is gonna be the case. I like it with the glasses. Definitely, it looks good. You know, the figure. And they're removable, so I think that this is a more it's a better deal for $300. You know, you say you're paying $79 more for Starlight, and I don't see the value there. And you can say the hair is like, I don't know, but this one looks really good for what it is. At some angles, it looks like Ben Affleck. Some others, depending on, not so much. I don't know if the eyes are movable. We'll find that. Updated paint application, so they're doing something really. The application looks really good. And the face and the grappling gun and the batarangs and the hands and that base, I think that base, you know, if that base, I think sets the price. If you ask me for $375 for this one, I will say yeah for the base. But no, it's the opposite. Naturally has $375. I think this is a better price. And looking at the stuff here, you have especially a muscular body with 30 points of articulation, 7 pieces of interchangeable glove, hands, including all the different hands that you have. And the custom you have bat suit with gray color armor plates, dark gray color straps, and gold color hooks. You got 2 pairs of interchangeable goggles with dark color lens. And you got a pair of black boots with gray color armor plates. On the weapons, you got the parademon gun, the batarangs, you got the bat grenades, you got grapple guns. You got 2 actually, and you got especially the designed parademon diorama base. You got the grappling hook and a closed mode attachable to the grapple gun and grappling hook. So you got all this. It's authentic and detailed likeness of Ben Affleck as Batman wearing tactical bat suit. 1 Batman cowl head with 3 interchangeable eye pieces. Okay, so you can change the eyes. Cool. And 3 interchangeable lower parts of faces capturing different facial expressions, approximately 30 centimeters tall, which is the extender for the 1/6. And I think this is a better deal. I think overall, you know, this is a much better figure. And I would say Hot Toys, it's definitely doing, as they always do, they do a better job in bringing that to life. So, yeah, I will tell you, happy Batman Day. Oh, that's right. Batman Day. I forgot about today. You know, today is Batman Day. And I read it. I think I saw very quickly on Instagram. Somebody mentioned it, I think, or it was Facebook post. But I've been so busy all day that I haven't had a chance to do much. But yeah, happy Batman Day to all my friends. And definitely we're going to look at some of the stuff today of Batman. I think this is an interesting Batman. If you're a fan of Hot Toys, you're a fan of the Zack Snyder Justice League, then definitely you are going to enjoy that very, very, very much. All right, before we get into the statues of the day here, and I want to give you an idea. I did not, because I started like, and again, I want to say to you, if you're watching this and you love the content of the channel, do not forget to leave a like, to subscribe to the channel, to follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The links are down below. And also, if you can support financially the channel, it really helps me to maintain this channel, to trying to make it, bring something else to the forefront with the channel. But watching this video, sharing the video, it's very important. It really brings a lot of viewers, and it helps me to grow the channel also. In any case, I did not mention, I wanted to say this, but because I went straight to talk about a lot of things, I didn't get the chance to talk about it. We're gonna talk about statues now because this is the last figure. But before we get into the statues, I want to give you my haul of the week. I know I've been doing that, kind of give you a haul of the week, things that I've been sharing. Well, finally, pays off to go to Walmart, or at least stop into different Walmarts. I went to it's funny because I went around into one of these days this week, I went around to different Walmarts. I was like, man, I need to go to Walmart because I still was looking for this from the original movie. I was looking for this version, the Donatello and Leonardo. I mentioned that in my last video. So I was like, man, I need to find it. I need to find it. So I went around. And it's funny that I went to so many different Walmarts in the area. I traveled pretty much that after left work. I went to many. I couldn't find anything. Then I came back home and I decided to stop at the Walmart across the street from my house, from my neighborhood. I decided to stop there. I said, well, let me stop there because, hey, like I think I need to stop to grab something or whatever, after failing everywhere else. And I found it there in front. It was there. And they have plenty of them. So I grabbed one. That completes my set, but not only that, I also find the Secret of the Ooze versions, and they also had them there. And believe me, I was ecstatic as soon as I saw them because I know they just came out. They're gonna hit the stores now because this is the new one that they're doing, and I love this one. And there are differences in the porters. I get to review them when I get the chance, but I'll open this and review them. But the porters are very different. Some of the aspects of are different. The paint job is different. Also, because of based on the movies. The movies were very different. So the heads are different. These are more, happier. This are more like, darker, like more moody and all that. Greedy because of course that's based on the first film and that was it. But these are just like the party turtles. Like it looks cool. I still need to look for Super Shredder and the Ultimate Shredder, which is version of the second film. I have the original, but I don't have this one. And I think this is my favorite here of the two of the ones I got. I think Michelangelo, that face looks hilariously funny. I love that. And also Donatello's face looks amazing. I think it's a fantastic. I'm so ecstatic. I'm glad that I found them. And believe me, it was after going through a bunch of Walmarts and not be able to find it. So I will tell you, it's not just a signal, it's a warning. So to me, that was like, I will tell you, like, I was like, oh, here at the back of the box looks really cool. Sorry for the light that got this reflection, but I have this, I'll post some pictures on Instagram when I get the chance, maybe this week when I'll get the chance to do it. But believe me, they look amazing. They come with all the extras, so I'm ecstatic. I found them. Really cool. And Secret of the Ooze, which is not my favorite on the, it's the more part. I like the original a lot, but of course, there were some couple of good things that happened there. I'm a big fan of the turtles, and it's amazing to see the turtles making a comeback for sure. All right, so that was just a little break. Let me drink some water just to kind of give you my haul of the week. There's no statues this week. I have probably some books at the end of the month or early next month, so we'll see. Right now, it's just I kind of go with the flow. All right, coming back to statues, and I want to talk about a statue. Kind of got hint with this one with my friend Kid Fresh asked me to talk about it. If you can find the video, you can find it. I'll talk about it. I don't remember what I said there, but I'm going to kind of give you an idea here. I'm going to give you a hand because ultimately, my purpose here is to help you. So let's see if we can find it. I'm gonna give you an idea for Pure Arts for those who are interested. All right, this is for my friend Kid Fresh. He asked for this one, so okay. All right, we're here. So he wanted to talk about Pukei. Pukei. I'm sorry. I will tell you, Pukei, I think is an amazing piece. I did mention this, and I'm just trying to help my friend here. I talk about it when, and this is another video, but he asked if I did, and I did. But you know, if you don't have the time to go through all the videos, I will tell you here. If you're still watching, I like it. I think the price is excellent. It's a very small 126 scale Monster Hunter, you know, scale based on Monster Hunter World. I don't know how this is going to expand in the future. We saw the prototype, or we saw I think they also had it at San Diego Comic-Con. They were showcasing this piece. I mentioned that I love the greenery. I think it's a great base. And it was really a highlight also San Diego Comic-Con. I think price-wise, I think it's high. But at the same time, in comparison to what other companies have been asking for some of these figures, I think it's fair. It's just getting to a place where everything is really expensive. And it's not a big piece. But it's cool. I do love that. Of course, if you're, I think this is more, if you're really invested into this collection, if you love this franchise, then definitely you're going to see the beauty in this piece. I think the paint job is good. Here, of course, these are more limited pictures. I would say Pure Arts has never been known for having the best pictures, unfortunately. But here you can see the height is 17, which is not that tall. It's made out of polystone, but I think it's pretty cool. Now, if we come to, let me see, Toy Arc, we might be able to find it there if they have it. I think Toy Arc, I always have used over the years Toy Arc because I do like a lot of the stuff Toy Arc does, particularly on the cons. They do have a fantastic way to showcase things. I'm not sure if they have a, what is that you do? Toy Arc. Okay. Toy Arc, Pure Arts. Let's see if I can find. I think this is from, yeah, San Diego Comic-Con 2022 right here. Maybe we can see it right there. Not sure if their pictures were showcased there. Oh, right there. I remember, because when we talk about San Diego Comic-Con, I normally come here. This is the statues. You can see figure-wise, this is a 1/6 scale figure. This is from, of course, from Cyberpunk 2077. Those are really interesting, nice-looking figures. But look at the statue. It's not super big, but I think he has right presence. And when you look at it now from this more live, you know, of course, has the light of the con, all of that. I found it very impressive. I found the work impressive. $605, I think it's excellent. Other company would have charged you a lot more than this for sure. So I think that, and that's the only two pictures that I've seen live of face. I think they were really excellent, and I think that Pure Arts is definitely a company that, you know, deserves some attention. So to answer your question, Kid Fresh, I think you are not going wrong by ordering this. As you can see here in the background, it's not a big piece, but it does have some dimensions. And I would say if you're really into Monster Hunter, then definitely you can go for it. If it was bigger than that, definitely companies would be asking a lot more. I love the detail. I like the base. It's not generic. I think it plays well with this, and hopefully Pure Arts can expand a Monster Hunter collection. If this does well, I'm sure that they're gonna bring other monsters, and we can get to see more of that. The other company that will be right now comparable will be Kinetic, is that they released statues before. But right now, I don't know if Kinetic is going to continue with that, but they do have the license. I think they still do. All right, so I wanted just to point that. I wanted to help a friend out. And then now we're getting into our list of today. So for that, I want to come to, again back to Sideshow Collectibles. And again, I want to say to all of you, thank you very much. Don't forget to leave a like, my friends. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching this for the first time and you like the content of this channel. Follow me on social media. All right, so we're coming to Sideshow. We're going to talk about this piece. This is Rixia Mao. This is based on, this is a PVC statue. It's a 1/8. It's a 1/8. So this is technically like an Artifacts Plus, even though they're not counting it like that. This is based on The Legend of Heroes by Neon Falcon. And I really don't know much about The Legend of Heroes, but I love what Kotobukiya does with these figures. They're simple, although I found that it's very expensive for what it is, $115. I think they should be more than $150, no more than that. But it is a very looking figure. Like, I love the detail on the figure, like with the sword, you know, this character. I'm not a fan of this bases, the simple bases. And there's something that we are seeing, for example, with the Bishoyo. The Bishoyo line has been doing amazing bases. I think the bases have improved based in comparison to what they did in the past. So the Bishoyo line, they're doing amazing. This is not part of the Bishoyo. This is a little bit bigger than the Bishoyo. I think it's a lit within the same scale, because they say that Bishoyo is 1/7, but it's not. So I'm guessing this is around the same. I think the sword is what they supposedly, because of the dimensions, that's what they're giving this the price. However, being PVC, I still feel that they're asking for too much, you know, although I do like it. I'm not necessarily, and I think the sculpt is gorgeous. She's gorgeous there for sure, and the base is simple. But when you're going very cheap on the base, then might as well just actually lower the price at the same time. I like the design. I like the detail. Don't like the base, and definitely don't like the price. But this is where we at now with a lot of these things, because height is only 8 inches. Made out of ABS PVC. It says iron. I don't know if it has like a metal part, maybe some metal, very cheap iron thing, because I don't know. That just brings more weight to the whole piece. But yeah, that's what they're doing, and they, you know, they have all the companion pieces, all the pieces also in their all collections they've been building. So I would say it's nice looking. Does it deserve to be that expensive? I don't think so. But that's just my opinion, of course. Now, I want to move to Diamond Select Toys. Diamond Select Toys, you know, I like Diamond Select Toys. Now going to, from company that right now I think the price is kind of weird. I think Diamond Select Toys offers a more bang for your buck. You get a better bang for your buck. And because they offer something for everyone. You know, and the most part is on the cheaper side. Here you can see the stuff that they have released lately. If you're into the figures, the Marvel Legends figures are always amazing. But this is the stuff that we're seeing here. But I want to cover, let's see if we can see it. Right here, we come into this page. These are the new things that I want to discuss today. First and foremost, I want to talk about this here. Let's go into the gallery diorama, which is it's technically PVC. It's more like vinyl stuff. It's a cheaper PVC, but I think it's for everyone that is budget conscious. You know, not everyone wants to spend thousands of dollars or even hundreds of dollars into something. They want to spend something that in the end, it really represents what they love. And to be honest with you, there's nothing wrong with that. You're not here collecting to prove a point or to try to get brownie points with the rest of the community. If you have that mentality, I'm sorry, you're gonna suffer a lot in this hobby, and you're gonna just hit yourself against the wall all the time. Do whatever you collect it for your own passion, for your fun. Now, I will tell you with this piece, I do kind of like the pose, and actually I've been playing the Power Rangers, the video game. What's that? The fighting game? The Power Rangers? I forgot. What is it? I forgot. I was playing it actually yesterday a little bit. I took a little time last night when I came home. I just start playing a little bit. And I found it fun. You know, I believe me, I didn't grow up with the Power Rangers in the 90s. It wasn't interesting. I did watch it, but it was never. I was already a teenager. I was a little older in that time of the 90s when this came out. So to me, I was more into video games. You know, I was more into the fighting scene. I was into King of Fighters. I was into Metal Slug. I was in the arcades all the time, playing a lot of the fighting games. So believe me, you know, watching TV, it was not something that I did much, and I did watch the shows and things like that. But you know, I think it was more for children. You know, my childhood was in the 80s, not in the 90s. But I think it's interesting. You know, I think price wise is also good. You know, how much is this right here? It's $60. You cannot go wrong with $60. If you don't want to overspend money and you want something, I think the effect with the dragon could have been done better. I think that's probably the weakest part. I like the idea, the concept. I just don't like the execution. But the concept is there. You know, at least it's something very different. And it's cool to see also something on the affordable side that companies are trying. Now, also want to talk about this Kato. This is one that also they showcase at San Diego Comic-Con. It's another one. If you're the Green Hornet fan, $59.99. I do like this one. I like the base. I think it's really cool. It says Green Hornet. Let's let this be what is that? A warning to you. Okay, it's really cool. Look at that. And I even like the way they did the smoke there. It looks more premium, even though it's all, again, PVC material, and this is on the cheaper PVC type, because there's different variations of PVC. Gotta be clear with that. There's one that is cheaper, there's one that has more quality. I do like this one. So if you love the Green Hornet, and I think this is a very cool piece. And it's not big. Again, you're looking at around 1.7, 1.8. It's not really big. For $60, man. I think, when you compare this $60 to $200 that Kotobukiya is asking for the same scale, the same size. Believe me, I'd rather pay $60 for the other one is pretty, but I think even with this one, $60 and you had a better base, that actually plays better with the character. But that's my opinion. I feel that this is a much, much better deal. Now, still looking at this stuff, I want to show you some of another gallery piece. And this is another $60. I think this is the standard price that they've been doing, which is amazing. Moon Knight, of course, based on the Disney Plus series. And this one, it's very, very cool. I like it. It's not expensive. You're not breaking the bank with this. I like the pose they chose. He is definitely perched there, ready for for a fight. I think they did an excellent job. It's not a complicated one. It's not super expensive. It's not, Polystone or anything major. It's not really huge. And that's another thing that I would say also with Diamond Select Toys is sometimes the scales are all over the place, but they try to maintain everything within the same standard size, and they do that for pricing purposes, so they can maintain the pricing. I think the prototype looks good. This is one of those pieces that you can even find at your local comics book shop, because because they're part of Diamond Distributors. So Diamond Distributors kind of carries a lot of this stuff. I think it's cool. I think they did a fantastic job with this one. It is not of the same quality, I would say, what Hot Toys is doing with their figure, if you're looking into that. But if you don't want to spend that money on the figure, you want something small and on the cheaper side, then definitely I think this is a good choice. Now, another thing that I don't like is the way they do the seams. And that's another thing that I have a problem with, the way they do PVC. With Gentle Giant Diamond Select Toys, I'm sorry, is that sometimes those seams are so obvious, and that's one thing that I have a problem with. And I feel that they do it maybe because it's cheaper to do it that way, but I feel that if they're able to overcome that and they give you a little more premium, you can even go over with the price. But that's just the way it is. Again, look at here, it's 9 inches tall, so it's not that big. But it looks cool, and it will look cool in any display like that. If you have a display like that, I think in a bookcase or whatever with your books, if you're going to have something like that, you're a big fan of Moon Knight, definitely this is not an option that you can say it's terrible. I think it's perfect for what it is. So that is cool. Now, looking still at the Marvel stuff, but now going into the Bust line, looking at Bust. I have this one. With this one, I came out, I was impressed. This is $90. This Mini-Bust is $90 of Spider-Man. This is a 1/7 scale, and it's very interesting. And I love this sculpt on Spider-Man, and definitely that's kind of cool what they did with the Spidey sense. It's tinkling right there. It's very different. Kind of looks like Electro in some way. It's different. I don't know if it's removable. I don't think it's removable. It's just different. I will tell you, I'm not necessarily a fan of the way they did the base. I kind of like the concept, but I would have loved for them to put more effort on the base and do something different. Maybe the symbol there of Spider-Man symbol or something different. Something that it plays more with the character. Like, I don't know, the Daily Bugle, something like that. I don't know, something like that. But it looks cool, I'm not gonna deny it. Now, I can tell you in the prototype, the paint job is not that good. Like the paint job, I can see it was overspray, and I hope that it's just the prototype and not that that you don't get to see the same mistakes on the final product, because that paint job is not that good. I gotta be honest. The sculpt is excellent, but when I'm looking at that, also you can see that the resin is not super clean, which means not only the paint job is not that great, also the casting wasn't done good on this one. Hopefully they can do better job when it comes about the final product, because definitely that prototype with the casting is not smooth, which means that it's kind of like little bubbles that you see on the resin, and that means that the casting wasn't done properly. It didn't cure properly. That is my impression. That's what I believe, or what I've been told before. And the paint definitely is overspray. So up close, definitely you can see that there's some things that need to work, or maybe it's just the effect that you get with the picture, because there's like a filter in it. But I think that this is a really nice piece. If it's done perfectly, I think it's gonna really do really good. I love this one. Definitely is excellent. And the dimensions is close to 6 inches tall, which is standard. Looks good. I think the pose is excellent on this one. And it's cool. It's cool. So $90, I think is a fair price for Spider-Man. And I will tell you, because of course this is the Spider-Mans, and I'm gonna give you an idea. Just a moment. All right, my friends. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to grab something. I'm gonna give you a quick idea here. This Spider-Man here, right here. This is from Gentle Giant. I love this Mini-Bust, which of course now Gentle Giant is owned by Diamond Select Toys, and it's a bit dusty. I need to undust my stuff. In any case, I love what they did. I never got the chance to review this one in the channel, and I should have maybe go back and do some retro reviews. And this is 993 of 1200. Love this one. Fascinating, great paint job, fantastic little. The paint job is excellent, and the prototype is good. So technically, this is the quality that Gentle Giant does, which technically is the same as what Diamond Select is, because technically Diamond Select is the one that has been doing the stuff. This is a fantastic bust, and I love the blue. They use more of the lighter blue and the red, but the markings, the paint job is really on point on this one. And the lights is excellent. This is a fantastic little bus. As a reference, I think that I will not mind to get this. Is a 1/6 bus, so I guess in the other ones it would be a little smaller. But I wouldn't mind to own that one if they really fix some of the things that I consider good. If they can match the same paint job as they did with this one, believe me, they can. Of course, I think when this came out, this was in the hands of Gentle Giant, not in the hands of Diamond Select Toys. But they couldn't match because they still producing this type of things. Now Gentle Giant still producing the same things from the same factories. So we'll see. Only time can tell. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea on that one. I think this is a really good one. I love what they're trying to achieve here. It just needs some work, maybe some improvement. Yeah, the paint job on that piece was excellent, and I think that it's super cool. Of course, with the lighting here, Batman, it looks too bright, but when you look at it in person, the lines are really well defined. It's really well done. This is something that Gentle Giant is well known for with their Mini-Bust. Now, another piece that they released, and actually this is in conjunction, it's also available at the Gentle Giant. So we're gonna go to the Gentle Giant store in a moment. Is this piece also part of the 1/6 scale Mini-Bust line, which is the same as this one? It's gonna be as you can see right there, even the bases, this is the same base. This is a 1/6 scale. So it's gonna be on par with this Spider-Man. It uses the same base. It's the same base, as you can see. It's the same base that they have used for this collection. But this is, they're using this. Now, I will tell you, the likeness on the portrait, I'm not a fan. That portrait looks terrible. I don't like it. I like the sculpt, but what is wrong? I don't know if they did something wrong with the picture or what happened to the face, but he looks like a monkey right there. What's going on with that? I will tell you, that is not good. I do like that they added the, you know, the Mjolnir and all that stuff and the broken shield, and that is cool. That is really cool. But man, I don't know what it is with that portrait. I don't know what the paint job is either. What's going on with that mouth? I don't know. I don't want to bring this down because I know probably I know the artist, probably know someone there, but believe me, man, it just doesn't look right. And that's disappointing because this company knows how to make buzz. Believe me, this Spider-Man, and I reviewed many of the buzz before. Believe me, those bows are amazing. They're awesome. You know, like this one's definitely kind of missed the mark. And I think they have the pose, the design is excellent. It's just the execution in the end with the sculpt, and maybe like look at that. That is just that nose, man. Definitely, that is not the actor, and that's not Chris Evans. For, you know, that's just someone else. That's the copycat. That's disappointing. Honestly, it's disappointing. So You know, I just don't want to disappoint you. They need to work on that portrait, man. That portrait is just like, oh my god, what's going on there? You know, like definitely they need some work. And sometimes the thing with them is that they're a hit or miss sometimes with the portraits. And they have done amazing busts. But when they're doing some of those busts based on in movies, it's kind of like they don't do it so good. Like they fail for some reason. I don't know why. Now, moving along, still talking to this, let's talk about Gentle Giant. And we're going to talk about Gentle Giant. We're going to come here to the stuff they do. We're going to talk about Padme Amidala. Here's the new stuff that came out. And also here they have also the Captain America right there, because they're the ones that designed it. So definitely they did not such a good job. And then you got the different things. So you're here. I want to show you the Boba Fett jumbo figure. If you love this jumbo figures, they continue with this collection. Really cool. Kind of like the same as the original toys, but in jumbo size. Really cool. Not my cup of thing, but I know some people love this thing, and you know, there are a lot of big fans of this, and it brings the nostalgia on a bigger scale, and that is cool. Not bad at all. Definitely, it's not bad at all. And this is $80. Definitely interesting. It's gonna release in the first quarter of 2023. That is the first thing that I can point out. Now, talking about Mini-Bust, looking at this one, this is based on the Clone Wars Padme Amidala. This is the animated Mini-Bust, so it's gonna be around 1.7. It's gonna be 3,000 pieces of this. I think the price $90. I found it steep, but still, you know, this is something that I already had it standardized. I think they did a good job with this one. If you're a fan of the Clone Wars and all this stuff that they have done here, I think it's good. I think the paint job is excellent for this. There's a lot of big fans out there collecting this Mini-Bust. I love Mini-Bust because they're space savers, because you can collect as many as you like in very, very tiny space. And they're also cool. They're cool looking. They're classy looking. And I like this one. The paint job is on point on this one. Really well done. The lines are perfect. The face is excellent. I think they did a really nice job with this one. I really like it. This one is 6 inches, so definitely 1/7 scale. Now, the other one they release is this one, of course, based on Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Grand Inquisitor, and this is 1/6 scale. Now, I will tell you again, like I mentioned, I wasn't a fan of the Grand Inquisitor and the interpretation of the Grand Inquisitor on this show. The base looks okay. You know, it's the same standard they had used. I think the portrait kind of looks like the actor. And I wasn't totally keen about his look either on the show, but it looks like him. And I think on that, perhaps they couldn't do a more elongated. It's more roundish. I feel like it's rounder. But at certain angles, you can see that it's a much better portrait. They did a much better job. I prefer this to Captain America for sure. I think the likeness is there. You know, it's closer to the likeness. And the proportions are not totally off. Although his face looks more like an egg for some reason. It's very round here, like on the top more wider than on the top, but it's like an egg shape. And I don't think that that's the head of the actor. Or maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe on my TV it didn't look like that. Maybe just an angular thing. Maybe it's just the lens they're using for the photographs, because sometimes they also stretch those. You stretch the photos to look certain way. That might be the case, but definitely it's not as bad, and definitely would be nice to have like some sort of light up feature, just to light up that, you know, dual lightsaber thing. But yeah, I think the detail is there. It's not a bad piece. Definitely another addition to the long collection that they already have, the ever-growing Star Wars collection from this company for sure. All right, so. And ultimately, I want to talk about this other new piece, which is the Star Wars The Mandalorian Bo-Katan Kryze Legends in 3D Dimension, which is a half-scale bust, and I think it's $200. I think it's an excellent price for this, if you're a fan of the Bo-Katan. Now, this one, again, half-scale, and it's based, of course, with the helmet. I think it's excellent. I think this collection so far has been growing. The stuff they do in 3D, the 3D bust line, the 3D in 3D Dimensions or whatever, I think it's really cool. And I think price-wise is excellent. When you compare this to other prices, I think you're getting something of great detail. And, you know, for a fair price, you don't have to break the bank. And the bottom line is that you don't have to break the bank at all on any collectible. So you want to collect something, you know, there's so many options out there for all budgets. And you don't have to feel ashamed if you have to pay something. Because sometimes people want to make you feel like, oh, you're on the cheaper side because you're buying something that is cheaper than what they're buying. That is more of their insecurity. You know, like some people are so insecure out there that they feel that they have to prove a point. they don't. You don't have to go by them. Their insecurities in there. They're insecure about what they're doing. I think this is a good thing. I think they did a fantastic job. I love what they did with the base. I think it plays with the whole thing, the mechanized thing, the blue, the colors. It's excellent. It's good. It would be nice also you see the portrait of the interchangeable portrait, but that is not the point when you get in one of these busts. It's excellent. I think it's a good job. $200. I think that is a really, really good price for this bust. No doubt about it. All right, so we've been doing pretty good so far. We covered a lot of things, but we still got some ground to cover. Now, let me take a break very quickly, and we come back. We still got to talk about Weta. We still got to talk about Zodiakos Studio, Tweeterhead, XM Studio. So we got big things coming. Unique Art Studio, Freeing, PCS, Prowler Studio, Dear Lord Studio, and finally Queen Studio. So we still have a night ahead of us, and I think we're doing pretty good timing. So give me just a few minutes. I take a break, and I'll come back, and we'll continue with this conversation.
I'm changing over in the moonlight. I can't kill this feeling sober, so I start to come alive. I don't know what starts to control me. I let it go, another soul is underneath. I don't really care about this all. It's the fall that kills me. With our back against the wall, just feed the beast and you'll see. Wait for me. I don't wanna die inside my reality. Wait for me.
All right. Thank you very much, my friends, for those who are waiting for me. Batman, we need to have commercials during these breaks. Yes, I need to make some money out of it at least. But I want to say all of you, thank you very much for still being here with me. I appreciate your support. Those who are watching, those who have commented so far. Late Night Trip, Kid Fresh, Luis Mendoza, Batman, all of you, thank you very much. And whoever watches this in the future, thank you very much for your support. It always means a lot to me. You take the time to be here. I appreciate it. So definitely the night is young still. We got a lot of things to cover, and we're gonna try to cover as much as we can. Definitely there's a lot of great things that we can cover today. So I want to, now that we are within the 1/6 scale, I want to come to Weta Workshop, and I want to talk about the newest piece by them. Here you can see Elandil. We're gonna look at Elandil. This is a 1/6 scale piece, $549, which is a steep. And I'm telling you, a lot of people already complaining on the Weta groups about it. Not necessarily fans of the price comparison to what everything else we have. Let's keep in mind that New Zealand has gotten hit really hard and the cost of things because of the pandemic. So this company is based in New Zealand. They do amazing work, but definitely the times have been rough, and they're trying to maintain those prices. So I think it's really cool. Now, the people involved in the production, you got Pavio, I think it's Fabio. It's Fabio Paiva. Fabio Paiva, he is the Fabio, I'm sorry, Paiva is the person that did this sculpt. I think this is the he did the Sauron, the Lord of the Rings, also 1/6 scale statue, limited statue. He did that one. He worked on that one. This is the second piece that he's been involved now. I think it's a really excellent piece, to be honest with you. Like, I love the detail that they did with this one. The portrait is excellent, and the pose is awesome. The paint job is excellent with this piece. Love the classiness of the base. I think it's really, really good, as you can see right there. And this is another angle right here, as you can see. That portrait is really well done. I don't know if Fabio, I think Fabio digitally sculpted this piece. I think he did a pretty good job, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if there's any concept here. It tells us anything. It's 1/6 limited edition. Depict Elandil as they appear in the Battle of the Last Alliance. Digitally sculpted by Fabio Paiva with reference from the original movie custom. Designed by the displayed with companion piece Sauron, Lord of the Rings, which he worked on it. But I think he did a really excellent job. You know, like, I will tell you, the job that he did on trying to bring this to life at every angle. Here you can see this other side. It's really, really well done. Very excellent piece. At least this is the, I don't know if this is just a, I think it's a digital rendering some way, or it could be actually the actual piece. But with that sword, looks really, really well done. And definitely this is a must for fans of the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings collectors definitely gonna have a you know, field day with this and enjoying it. Although, you know, I've seen the criticism about the price point, which, you know, it's understandable. But at the same time, I do look at a lot of the detail in this piece. It's just perfect. You know, they did a fantastic job trying to bring that detail out. Here, this is the concept or the idea that it will be if you displayed this with Sauron. With Sauron is super, super vague. And of course, as a 1/6, that Sauron is massive. But that's what's going to display. Really cool. The whole concept that they here, they did this is a companion piece of these two pieces. They're supposed to be together. But that is an excellent thing. Here you can this gives you an idea of the dimensions of this piece. This gentleman holding the piece. Look at this size. It's a 1/6. This is a really nice 1/6 scale. It looks like an actual 1/6. Looks really, really cool. I like the piece. I think they did a fantastic job with it. It's not for everyone. Definitely, this is not for the for the casual Weta collector, and this is not Weta collector, but the casual Lord of the Rings collector. This is for one that has already invested its time and money and effort into collecting just for this particular collection. And I think that's where the beauty of this piece is. You know, like, it's just for them. It's just for the hardcore collector, for sure. It looks really good. I think they did a fantastic job with it. So kudos to Weta. Price-wise, definitely. Again, this is for the hardcore collector. If you want to put the money, and also people are still complaining, even hardcore fans, because of the price. But hey, look at the detail. I think the detail really speaks for itself. Yes, it is expensive, but like everything else is expensive nowadays. But I think you're getting your money's worth with this quality that they're trying to bring here, which is really, really cool. So that's excellent in my opinion. All right. So now I want to come to a spec fiction, because I want to talk about a company, Zodiakos. Studio. I talked about Zodiakos Studio before. We're gonna actually give you an idea. This is Grimmjow, Jaegerjaquez. This is from, of course, Bleach, and we have seen some really amazing pieces for this character. $509. Another thing, $500. This is the standard now from 1/6 for a lot of these companies. It's made out of polystone, polyurethane, and ABS, so it has all these mixed materials, and I think they did a really good job with this one. It's very simple what they did with the base, you know, with this. It's not necessarily my favorite base. Like, I would say, oh my God, what tremendous base. Of course, you know, it has a history there. But at the same time, I love other such as that I've seen of him where he is on a pose, an action pose. This is a very unique choice from Zodiakos. I think they did a really interesting, took an interesting take on this, with that, you know, electricity pole in the back. And to be honest with you, I don't even know where the story comes from. What is it they try to represent on the story? It gives like some type of dimension, kind of like a force, you know, view. It's different. but not necessarily something that I would love. But yeah, so 1/6, a very unique, very different style, more on the museum pose style. And to be honest, at that being as a museum, I wish that was removable in the back. It doesn't really need it being as a museum pose, but it's what they're trying to achieve here, which is interesting. It's very unique, and it's not for everyone. Definitely, some people may see it as something good. Some people might see that as an extra thing that actually adds more value, more cost to the piece, and it's unnecessary. You know. Which is actually, to be honest with you, it's actually something that is, you know, it's true, you know. And we talk about the pieces that we talk about this company doing all this stuff, and Zodiakos has been doing amazing. And this is a French company again. So Zodiakos Studio, for those, I'll take you to Facebook. If I'm not mistaken, this is a French company. I think that's what it is, right there. So Zodiakos Studio. They already have a strong fan base. No, they're actually based in Hong Kong. So my apologies. You know, there's so many companies. Sometimes I forget. This is a Hong Kong-based company then. But they've been doing really amazing stuff. This is a very interesting concept. You know, I'm not going to deny it. It's different. It's just something different. I have seen some of the stuff they do with the, you know, that they've been recently doing with the... You know, we talk about the stuff they do for Saint Seiya, which I like. But it's good what this company is trying to achieve, trying to go into different routes. And definitely this is the 4 licenses that we have seen so far in comparison to the other. The Machine Hero was one of them. Of course, you got the Saint Seiya stuff. And of course, now you got this, which I think is the 3rd line. And they have different things from Saint Seiya. So I don't know what the company is going to do in the future, but definitely there is strong potential in what they're doing. It just, that pole in the back is kind of off-putting. It's not something that I would not say off-putting, but I would say it's a little off. It's not necessary, and it's not as necessary. And they couldn't just take it out. They could sell this for even cheaper, and I'm sure that it will attract more customers. But hey, it is what it is. In any case, now I want to come now back to Sideshow because I want to talk about one of the biggest pieces, in my opinion, of this week. One of the ones that I'm most excited. I personally am excited because this is one that I will add to my collection at some point. I will definitely add it to my collection. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but because I've seen some of the history with they kind of, there's no exclusive on this, which is surprising. I was expecting to have an exclusive, and at the same time, I'm grateful because without an exclusive, then everyone gets the same thing. And on that, I am proud. I'm happy. And I think they did it also because of the price point. $530. This is the first time with Tweeterhead is selling something at this high. You know, they have done it before. But I think in comparison to other pieces that they have done in this collection, this is the most expensive. Also, it comes with a lot of different extras that are super, super cool. This is one of the highlights for me at San Diego Comic-Con. Definitely. It was a highlight for me. I love what the Tweeterhead did there. No edition size again. And well, let's talk about the people involved here because, of course, we honor them. Guillermo Barbiero, he's the sculptor and designer. Again, Guillermo, he's awesome. He's an amazing sculptor. He did an amazing job here. We also, on the design, we have Andrew Huerta. On the sculpt, we also have Tiago Cenobini, Ariel Mora Remis. Those are sculptors of this piece. On the design, also, besides, Barbiero and Huerta, you also have Brandon Guerrero. You got Keith Kopinski, and on the David Igo, of course, he's the art director. And then we have Lise Maggie, the painter, and Scott Sildner, the painter. And I think they all did a fantastic job here. Now, I will tell you, I love the details. Some people were complaining about the trousers because people would love to have black trousers as, you know, more in the Bronze Age type of thing. But I think that, you know, let's be clear with this. This has inspiration on the classic stuff, but it's not based on the Bronze Age. So don't expect this to be like that. They went with the one that most people feel is more recognizable, also because of the, because of the cartoons, because of the comics, because of the more modern interpretations of things. So I think that it's a perfect medium. And yeah, people were asking if there could be like a second choice, but I think that's too many. And perhaps you will get in the future a classic choice for some people. Will they prefer to do that? They have done that in the past. They did that with Superman recently with the black version. They might go with a different Paint Echo version. But so far, I will tell you, this piece is excellent. Some people also complain about the base and the pose in comparison. It's not as a museum. It's more like a more dynamic pose or semi-dynamic pose. But I love what they did here, and I love the different portraits. With the bearded portrait is excellent in my opinion. The classic portrait is also fantastic, and definitely you can see Guillermo del Viero touch in it because it's the same musculature that he does with the portraits and faces. And I love the fact that it has a trident. I love what they did with the water effect, and I hope that has more like a clear resin vibe. So that way it's translucent, so you can have more like a water effect. Although I will tell you, with Superman, the base looks really fascinating. It's really nice. I wasn't a fan of the base on pictures, but in person, I love the effect, and it kind of looks like ice, but it's a very solid base. So I don't know how they're gonna do with this one. It is a gorgeous piece. No doubt. I love this piece. Fire, definitely adding this. I will add it. The great part, again, I'm going to add it, but I didn't put it right away because I didn't feel the need. I'm going to, as soon as I think it's important, I can do it. I want to take care of some stuff that I'm paying right now first. But believe me, this is going to be added to the collection because I already have the others. This is the only one missing link. And they also announced today on Facebook, they announced that Batman is coming very soon. So we're going to see that painted prototype very, very soon. And also that's going to be added to the collection. I think this piece is fire for sure. This is just excellent. And I love that. And I was just happy just the way it was, with the trident stuff and all that. And then, of course, you got the two porters. To me, that was excellent. Yeah, that's all you needed. But then, of course, they decide to also change things a little bit. And they give you this other... the alternate arm with the harpoon, which I that's a classic 90s, Peter David era, which I love it. I love it. I think they did a fantastic job. It's excellent, to be honest with you. And definitely, so would it be nice without having just one portrait or one arm, so without the trident, just to remove the trident out of the equation. Just leave it like that would have been actually nice. That would be awesome. But to be honest, I'm not complaining because technically you do that with a harpoon. So, as it is, and then you have the portrait, believe me, you have options here. There's the 3 options that you have. And you can also have, the harpoon with the face. Although I don't think you would like to have the harpoon because that's no more like classic. The harpoon time is when he had the beard in the 90s, which I think is perfect. I love this piece. Definitely, it's a beautiful piece. Again, Tweeterhead is definitely taking my money. They're stealing my lunch money for sure. But you know what? They just do amazing. Now, yeah, they also make a quarter scale camera. To be honest with you, my friend Jason, I'm not sure. The truth matter that people were anticipating to be a quarter scale. However, I would not doubt that at some point they may come back and redo this idea and say, let's do this. Because right now, let's keep in mind that Tweeterhead and Saturo, they're in this kind of weird, evolving. It's kind of weird, but at the same time, it's kind of like they are in a relationship that they're working with each other, they're helping each other out, and things are evolving. Keep in mind that the quarter scale license belongs to Sideshow. It doesn't belong to Tweeterhead. Tweeterhead, the license that Sideshow has is so inclusive on quarter scale stuff and DC stuff that they do have a license in America. And although XM Studios also produces worldwide, they can sell worldwide from where they at, but they're not selling it as an American company. So technically, everything that has to do with quarter scale, you have to come through Sideshow. So technically, Tweeterhead has to ask permission or pay something to Sideshow. Sideshow has to kind of lend that license to them for them to produce quarter scale stuff for DC and for Marvel more than anything else, but also for DC. So what they're doing right now technically is the company, and they've been kind of diving into this friendship where sometimes they allow it to do it and they sell it also as a partnership because both are together. So I wouldn't doubt that at some point maybe Tweeterhead is able to pull this plug because of the relationship they have with Sideshow, or pull some of the strings and they're able to bring a quarter scale. No, there's no doubt. Right now, of course, it's not. But don't doubt that can be done in the future. It is possible. They did that with Wonder Woman. But they haven't. They didn't that with Aquaman, but they did that with Wonder Woman. So people were hoping for this to be the same. But at the same time, I'm trying to think that if that didn't happen as it happened with Wonder Woman, that means that perhaps Sasha's been working also on the backstages, which I know people not really telling, on another quarter scale Aquaman. That is possible. Perhaps they're working on a quarter scale Aquaman of their own. For that reason, they didn't want to have that competition, so they decided not to lend that license. That could be an option. That could be an alternative. That could be a reason. Don't quote me on that because I don't know, but the possibility is there. So that means that whether they do it or not, I think there's going to be an Aquaman very, very soon. Of course, the next Aquaman movie is coming soon. So I betcha, I'll tell you, it's going to be more Aquaman collectibles coming very, very soon. And I'm sure that Taichi's been working on some of them. So we'll see. And maybe by then, you know, also something clears out with Tweeterhead and they decide also to kind of bring this as a quarter scale. Only time can tell. Because I know that definitely a lot of fans were really sad that this wasn't announced as a quarter scale, and I totally understand because it's an amazing sculpt for sure. It's really beautiful. At the same time, these are really huge pieces as they are, and they're really huge, almost close to 1/5 scale, because they're true 1/6 scale pieces. And as a 1 through, technically they're as big, not as big as a quarter scale, but they're getting really close and definitely very tall with those bases. So we'll see. Only time can tell. Amazing piece. Definitely I'm going to add to my collection. Because hey, you know, it's Tweeterhead, and definitely I'm invested with Tweeterhead right now. All right, my friends, I want to move and let's go now to XM Studios. Now, talking about DC, let's still continue with this, and I'm talking about a company that is actually releasing a piece, a Batman piece, an old days Batman Day, that is for whether you are 1/6 or quarter scale. The options are there. So they got this classic series. I think there's a few differences, or they're technically the same. I don't know. We're gonna look first at the 1/6 scale. This is the retail price in Singapore dollars. You're looking at $899. This is available worldwide, so that means that it's already available with Spec Fiction too, so you can buy it directly from them. Everywhere in the world, you can get the 1/6 scale because they do have that international license for 1/6 scale stuff. Now, looking at these pieces here. Here you can see, let me look at the artist. As always, we try to give honor when honors due. And you have Mark Brooks, of course, the designer of this piece. You have Juan Noveletto. He's the 3D sculptor. He's the one that did the piece, they sculpted the piece. And the XM Studio Design and Development team is involved in the production of this piece. All right, so now looking at this, I will tell you, I don't know what difference. I don't know the quarter scale. I don't know what difference are right now because I didn't get a chance to look at it beyond basic pictures. I do like the pose of the piece. I do like the detail on the paint job. I love how they do this. Looks like leather is painted. You can see those the whole detail they have with this and the destruction. I do like the way I will tell you one thing I'm not a fan of this piece is the way on the cape, the texture on one side, but it's clear on the inside. Like it has like very smooth texture on the inside, but on the outside it has like this very rough texture. I don't like it. They should have just go with the same texture on the inside. It should go on the outside. I think that's best. The same criticism that I have with the Superman that they released recently, I didn't like the texture on the cape. However, this one has a more clear texture on the inside. I think this is what they should do with the outside. The same way as I see it with Superman from Tweeterhead, it's a clear all around. I think that makes it more classic. Now with the gloves, I'm fine with the texture there because technically kind of like a leather taste. But it's kind of weird because you see both textures kind of fighting with each other, so it doesn't make it makes it look a bit kind of like rough to the touch. No, I don't like that. Now, the portrait is good. It's Batman. It's a very classic look of Batman. Definitely, you can see some of the inspiration with Mark Brooks. Definitely, it's on the same style as we saw with Superman. So, it's going to fit well with Superman for sure. It's a very cool piece. You know, there's nothing really wrong with it. Of course, it's going to be priced. You know, but to be honest with you, with the Tweeterhead version of Batman, I'm sorry, I love that version. And definitely, it's going to be probably around the same price, perhaps, you know, because he has that base that they're doing. But this one has the interchangeable part, so ultimately, and definitely XM is going to give you get more quality on the paint jobs on the XM pieces, and definitely the base has a lot to tell, and it's really cool. Definitely love the detail on that base. And I love this. I definitely, it has to really, to be honest with you, there's so many Batmans right now in 1/6 scale, and even XM Studios has been producing a lot of Batmans. They have a few that are coming. It's just amazing. I definitely, they're doing great. I think XM Studios is banking on Batman. Of course, Batman sells, so it's not like they're gonna suffer from it. 32 centimeters in height. I like it. I definitely like this piece. And again, Singapore dollars, you look at $109, which technically is going to be around $700 US dollars, something like that. Or maybe $600, almost $700, when you look at Spec Fiction. Like, if I come to Spec Fiction, just to give you an idea, because I saw them there, which they have it there, Spec. I saw they have the 1/6 scale, kind of give you an idea if you're in the United States. It's $700, $699 plus shipping. That's it. It's a good price. So, in comparison, of course, it's a fair price in comparison to what they sell, what XM Studios prices things. I love Batman, but not a fan of this. Doesn't get me excited. I have the Rebirth piece, and I think it's way better than this. I wouldn't say that I didn't like some of the crouch position of the Rebirth. I do like the pose on this one, but I do see why is it that some people may like it and people may not like it. There are a couple of things that necessarily make it stand out the most. Believe me, if I have to choose any Batman right now that they have produced as a 1/6, I would say, let me come to XM Studios. From all the Batmans that they have been produced, I will say the one that I'm more inclined to add at some point to my collection, the one that really entices me the most, definitely I like this classic 1972 Batman. I don't know if it's already sold out. They still have it on stock. I like this one, of course, because based on the art of I forgot. What is the art of? Neil Adams. I'm trying to think. I like this one. The Dark Knight Returns. I do like the Dark Knight Returns as a 1/6. I think this is a really nice piece. It's on pre-order. Love this one. I'm telling you, this is one that I am really a fan of. I love the base is too big perhaps for me. I'm not just a fan of the base, but I do like the piece, and I do like the fact that if I'm not mistaken, this has the weapon. I think has I don't know if it has the rifle, but it should have a rifle too, isn't it? Or it's only on the quarter scale. Let me go back. Two-hand switch. So yes, he has the weapon, the rifle. They don't do it for promotional purposes, but I do like this one a lot. That to me is excellent Batman. I think this is good. Yeah, the Rebirth is not bad at all. I'm not saying that it's bad or I don't dislike it. At the end of the day, the Rebirth here is already on the. Oh, they have the Batman Hush. That you have the Rebirth right here. I think it's excellent too. I think it's an excellent piece. I like the detail and I like the way he's posed. And definitely, when you look at the cape, it does have a little bit of that detail of the cape, but it goes around. It doesn't have. I think it's excellent. I love the base. I think the base is excellent. It's better than even that the Dark Knight Returns base, and it looks good. I totally agree with you. It's a really excellent piece. Sold out for sure, unless you find it in the aftermarket. But man, I'm telling you, like XM Studios has been doing a lot of Batman. It's just they've been banking on Batmans for sure, and which it's kind of interesting to see how people love this. Now, if I want to come back to I want to go back to XM because I want to look now at the quarter scale, which the option is there, and again. They don't have international license. They don't have sideshow license. So definitely they only have a license for Southeast Asia. And here you can see where the price goes up. Like it's $13.99. So it's up there in price. If you do the discount, you're looking at $1,100, $1,200 with all the shipping. If you come to a Spec Fiction, let me give you an idea price-wise. So we saw the price. Now looking at the quarter scale piece, it's $900. Actually, $900. So actually it's... Maybe my numbers are wrong, or maybe it's because the Singapore dollars have come down and have lost a lot of value due to COVID. Who knows? But it seems that the difference was really marked. Now, looking at the piece, if I'm not mistaken, the difference is there's nothing. Like they technically have the same things. I don't think there's anything extra out of the quarter scale. The only difference would be just the size. And I like that because that's something that they were doing with all the pieces in the past, where technically the 1/6 was the poor mint version, because, and you know, not everyone wants to have quad scale stuff. It's not necessarily the money part, it's about the space part. So you giving me a lot less for, you know, and I didn't like that. That's the reason I didn't like the Flash they produce. But I think this one, as a quad scale and 1/6, you're getting the same thing, of course, in different scales. And that is cool in my opinion. Another Batman, interesting, and definitely some people are fans, some people are not. It's totally understandable, but I do like the paint job, and there's a couple of things that I would prefer, particularly with the cape, but the options are there. What can we say? All right. Now, before we move to the next thing, I want to point something out, because there was something that happened today that was really, really funny for me. Let me drink some water right here. I want to point this out because I encountered something here. Somebody mentioned something about this. Looking at the materials of this. It's a craft and polystone. And we're saying, oh, so XM Studios are moving out from cold cast porcelain to polystone. So now things are cheaper. Or they even use cheaper material. So I responded, it says, actually, polystone and cold cast porcelain are the same thing. And some idiot, I'm going to say it like this, some idiot came to my post and they said, well, that's you need to get it correct. They're not the same thing. You need to do your homework. So I responded to him like, whatever. So he got into this argument. He's trying to fight me or whatever. And to be honest with you, it's the dumbest thing ever. I told him, you know, I got to the point I told him, you know what? You're like most men that they're so brave. You can cuss me out, whatever. I don't care. But you're brave on the keyboard. A lot of people are brave on the keyboard. And that's what I hate about sometimes going to Facebook groups, because you find a lot of idiots on Facebook groups that they call themselves collectors, but they're not collectors. They're not. And they don't even know much about what they're collecting anyway. Polystone and cold cast porcelain all are the same thing. Now, there are differences. I need to point that out. There are differences between different things. Of course, companies have called it whatever. They can call it whatever. Some companies say, oh, this is polystone. Some people say cold cast porcelain. But the truth of the matter is that they contain the same ingredients. They contain a resin, and they contain some stones and materials, and also some porcelain levels. Yeah, keyboard warriors. They are different mixtures that are done, but at the same time, polystone has been the same thing as cold cast porcelain. A lot of times people think that, oh, cold cast porcelain is less strong, polystone is stronger than cold cast porcelain, and it's not the case. It's the same material. There's different degrees of quality of it. And, you know, people can call it polystone, people can call it cold cast porcelain. Oh, it's coming back. For a second, it went out. For a second, it went out. Sorry for that. So some people get excited about the whole thing, you know. Say, like, he could saying that I don't know what I'm saying or whatever. So, like, to be honest, you know, I get to the point. That's the reason I don't participate in a lot of these things, because it's not constructive. You know, people get really stupid about things that they have no idea about. You know, there's different material the same way, because at the end of the day, all these are resins, all these are like oil based, they're like petrol based. The same way with your gas. When you go to the gas station, not all gas are made equal. Not just every gas station, you get gas, but not all the gas come from the same place and not all the same. We call it gas as a generic thing, but they all have different additives at different levels. Some of them have more ethanol than others. Some gases have different qualities depending on what parts of the world come from. They go through different processes to be cleaned out in different ways to produce certain things. All of those resins, all these materials, all that all those things create different levels of gas. Some gas is more potent than others, is stronger than others, better quality than others. One is more dirty than others, so it has to be more additives have to be added to clean it out. But ultimately, what you get at the gas station, it's a different variation of the same thing, and we call it gas. But in reality, they can have different names because it comes from different parts of the world and they have different additives. But we call it in generic name as gas. The same thing with polystone. We can call a lot of things polystone. We can call the same thing cold cast porcelain. They do add a little bit of the porcelain, so it has the same porcelain likeness things, which is the more malleable things. And there's different degrees. And in China, they don't have the same system as in America. We label a lot of things based on what they are. We do a really poor job in America to do this. Other countries in Europe are better at labeling things on what you get. But we buy a lot of things from China. Do you think China is kind of measuring things the same level? they're the ones that sell whatever, and you don't even know what comes into your pieces. But when you look at them and you feel them, some people think the Polystone or some pieces, all the Polystone pieces were better because they were more solid, because they feel stronger. No, they were more solid. Now we're getting more hollow pieces. But some pieces are still very strong, very solid. Like I will say the stuff that I've been getting from Tweeterhead is very solid. So they're doing very solid cold cast porcelain. And they also call it cold cast porcelain. So ultimately, you get into arguments with people, it's not feasible. And it started with this because people are pointing that out. And then the person got too feisty. And I told him, you know what? I don't know what's going on with you. Maybe you're trying to, you know, like, I don't know. Like people like that, they get aggressive is because they trying to, I don't know, look bigger than what they really are. Or they feel they're so insecure that they think they have to prove a point. You don't have to prove a point. I don't need to prove a point. I've been collecting for almost 20 years. 20 years now. So believe me, I've seen all these different materials and different variations, and I'm really not concerned about the labels and names. Believe me, because a company calls something porcelain and cold cast porcelain today, and they call it Polystone tomorrow, doesn't make a big difference. You're not getting less quality. You're getting the same type of materials in different variations, because all depends on the factory that they have no control over. And they just simply label it one way or the other just to avoid confusion, and that's it. That's all it is. You're still gonna get the same product you got before. That's bottom line. You're not getting anything cheaper. So I think people are just kind of lost in that idea because they think, oh, you know, I have cold cast porcelain, so that means that I have a material that is finer than Polystone, and Polystone is rougher, but it's more, you know, durable. They're the same thing. I'm sorry, they're the same thing. They may have different variations depending on the mixing that they use for whatever reason or whatever they have available, but you're getting the same mixing, you're getting the same thing. Whether you call it Polystone or cold cast porcelain, you're still getting the same thing. It's a resin mixed with some other plastic materials and some stones or some porcelain just to give that kind of porcelain or stone likeness. That's all it is. But whatever, let people kind of believe whatever they want to believe and come to Facebook and try to tell you that you know, I'm going to say a bad word, but you know nothing. And they come with all that bull crap. I'm sorry, but I've been doing this long enough to know. And that's the reason I don't like to participate anymore in a lot of these Facebook groups, because all I found is just idiots full of crap that they don't know what they're talking about, but they think they do. And, you know, they tell you that they can, you know, that they know more than you or whatever. I'm saying, like I told that guy, you can, if you're bold enough to write it on the keyboard, then be bold enough to tell it on my face. You know, come and tell me to my face instead of just telling me that I'm wrong for actually telling you what is the truth. And you got offended. You know, I didn't attack you. I'm just simply saying it's almost the same thing. So, you know, I was trying to, in many ways, I was trying to tell to the poster, don't worry about it. You're technically, you're getting the same thing. You're not getting anything lesser or anything better. You're getting the same thing as you got before. It's the same thing. It might be a different variety. It might be a different mixture, but it's the same thing in the end. You're not getting anything lesser than what you had before. So, you know, because people like to create drama and trying to build up these things and trying to criticize things that actually have no bearing in the way we're collecting things and, you know, and the beauty of these pieces. So that's all I have to say. I wanted to share it because I felt like, man, got a little riled up with the whole thing, but I said, you know what, forget it. I'm not going to just waste my time, because at the end of the day, I can come to my videos and talk to people like you that know about collectibles and care about these things, and we can talk in a constructive way instead of just, you know, trying to get into a fight with someone that I don't know who he is, and maybe has a bad day and he thinks that he needs to prove a point. Maybe his wife doesn't want to give it to him or whatever. You know, he's taking it on me. Like, I'm sorry, dude. You need to do a better job being a man. You know, like, at least at home, and maybe you'll be happier. And when you come to the Facebook groups, and you can actually share something constructive instead of trying to get into a fight with someone that you don't know. And then you're trying to teach me when I already know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for long enough to really know the materials that I'm collecting. In any case, let's move on. And that was a moment that I needed to kind of let go some tension on that, perhaps. But hey, you know, it amazes me how people can get so caught up into stupid battles that have no purpose. Let's get back into collectibles. So I want to go back to another company, and I'm coming back to a Spec Fiction. After that little outburst. Okay, so we are here at we were at Spec Fiction already. Oh, I'll go back to Spec Fiction. I'm a one-man show, so I got to do all of this with my... Alright, here you have this piece, Digimon Adventure. I didn't grow up with Digimon, so it's not something that I care much about. Now, the interesting thing that it says that it's a quarter scale piece. which to me is like, okay, that has to be really big, because if it's a quarter scale, this guy is really, really small. And if it's a standard size, I think it should be bigger. Then I realized that it's not a true quarter scale. This is within the same standard, and they promote it as such, but it's not. You know, it's just within the same height, but it's not true quarter scale. In any case, it's within the same height, because unless this is a little midget, you know, or a tiny little fairy, it would be too small based on those dimensions that they're showcasing there. Because if it was like a true quarter scale, this piece will be large, because we're talking about a mecha thing. So yeah, it is not, but you know, kind of gives you an idea that it's within the same size. $910, gonna release on the third quarter of 2023. And looking at this piece, I would say that it's cool. I like the concept. You know, it's kind of busy at the base, but it's a very interesting concept. And this company, Unique Art Studios, definitely been doing some interesting things. Again, very busy. I didn't grow up with Digimon, but I wanted to point out because I do like, you know, these things. You know, I like things that are different. I love the paint job, definitely. And I know, I think, if I'm not mistaken, my nephew has played some of the Digimon stuff or collect some of the Digimon cards and stuff like that. So, but I know that Digimon was kind of, if I'm not mistaken, in the early 2000s was the popularity was there. I don't know if it was in the late 90s or something like that. I know that there's when I saw things from that, but I've never really got caught up into the cartoons or in the cars and all that. But because, of course, I was older, but a lot older by then. But it's cool, you know. I like it, you know. And you know, there's a lot of collectors in this hobby. You know, not everyone is in the 40s like I am. Some people are here like in their 20s, and they have, you know, they love these things to collect. They are getting, they have good income, you know, and they want to collect high-end collectibles. So by all means, you know, more power to people like that. But yeah, it's standing over 23 inches tall, so it does have a good height. There's a video right there if you want to look at it. Now, for those who are familiar with Unique Art, we have talked about this company in the past. We have looked at some of this stuff, and definitely they do. We have talked about some of these pieces that, in my opinion, are amazing. We have seen a lot of the stuff that they produce. This company that's produced. Oh, here's the other Grimmjow Jaegerjaquez quarter scale piece that I love the way they did it here. They have done stuff, of course, for Bleach, for Naruto, One Piece. They doing amazing. Everything goes on the wait list. They also been doing stuff for Pokemon, for SNK, which is cool. So this company is interesting, and they really they're into something. You know, here Hunter x Hunter. So they're doing amazing stuff. I think this Digimon Adventure, it's a very interesting take. Very interesting piece. WarGreymon and Taichi, Kamiya. I think it's a very cool piece, and we'll see how it goes. You know, it's a very unique thing that they did here. Looks really, really, really cool for sure. All right, so now let me look at some of the comments here before we go to the next piece. Let me try to come here. Let me see on the chat. This is about social as it gets for me. You know what? Thank you. I appreciate it, Late Night Trip. Believe me, there are days that I feel like, man, I just don't want to do Facebook anymore. There are days like, you know what? I'm done with Facebook. Plus, you know, there was a time where there was something that somebody did, and I said something to him, and then the other day, you know, I got kind of like, they put me on a lock for like 30 days where I couldn't. There was supposedly I wasn't punished, but they couldn't. My posts weren't as visible or something like that. I don't know. I just, you know, Facebook gets in the way where I feel like, you know what? I don't want to waste my time anymore with groups that actually, I go there so I can get the news, so I can share this stuff here. That's it. But I also go to Instagram, which I do. I think a lot of companies also share stuff there. So that's the reason I stay on tune with those groups, so I can know. But particularly with the pages and with the friends, I try to stay on tune so I can get stuff. Of course, I try to, you know, socialize with some of my friends, closer friends. But to be honest with you, I prefer to come to YouTube because here it's a platform where I can share my point of view. And definitely people seem to be nicer, you know, not everyone, but I can clear them out. You know, like if someone here is coming here to trying to rile up things, I can just delete them or block him from my group, from, in this case, from this channel. And I don't have to worry about him no more. Because at the end of the day, you know, people can take it or leave it, in my opinion. I don't care if people take it or leave it. It is my opinion. You know, and You know, like there's ways to approach people. Sometimes I make mistakes like everyone else. Everyone makes mistakes. Like sometimes I might say something wrong. But, you know, don't try to get on top of me and trying to make yourself look better than what you really are. You know, like you don't know who you're talking to. You might not know me. Perhaps you have watched my videos in the past, because many people, I have encountered people that they get very aggressive on Facebook, and once they don't know who I am because I don't promote as much my channel in groups. But when they get to know who I am, oh, I watch your videos, then of course they become a little more apologetic, or then they step back a little bit. But first, you know, it seems like, and I've seen people like their attitude changes when they go to Facebook. It's like it changes. Like they become very friendly here and over there, because, you know, it's like they feel that they need to kind of bring all the frustration out. And I don't like to play like that. You know, I used to a lot more, but you know, I'm already on my mid 40s. So I'm like in the point where I say, you know what? Why do I care if people like me or not? Why do I care if they accept my opinion or not? I just do what I want, you know, and that's what I'm doing. And this is what I'm doing. All right, let's move on. And let's go to Sideshow. I want to go to Sideshow because I want to talk about this other piece. And again, I want to say to all of you, thank you for being here with me and being supportive of this channel. Waiting a little bit. All right, so we come into Sideshow because I want to talk about another company. This company right here. I saw this price, and to be honest with you, as soon as I saw the price, I say, you know what? That's just not fair. That is not a good price. But I want to talk about it because at the end of the day, it's something that people might be considering. This is Saturo Gojo quarter scale. This is, of course, based on Jujutsu Kaisen, and $710. And I was like, oh my god, that is expensive for a quarter scale piece that has not much. And then I came to realize when I looking at the information, it's made out of plastic. So it's made out of PVC or whatever plastic they use. It says just plastic, but it could be just simply PVC. I don't think it's going to be cheap plastic. It's going to release between January and March of 2024, so it's going to take forever to release. And when I look at this piece, I was like, why is it so expensive? Because it's quarter scale. Because if it's PVC or any type of plastic materials they use, it looks very simplistic. And the base, kind of looking, you know, this piece shouldn't be priced as a quarter scale made out of this type of material. Shouldn't be priced more than a statue, a premium format from Sideshow. There's no way it can be priced more than a premium format. I'm sorry, but I think freeing, and this is a company that's been doing more of this type of things. I think they're just barking at the wrong tree. I think they're just asking for too much money right there. I'm sorry, out of the blue, and this piece is not gonna take more. It's gonna take till 2024 to come out. I'm sorry, but I don't see it. I don't think it's gonna do well. It could, but believe me, if it was Polystone, then by all means, $700. I see the price. But when you're making it out of plastic, you know, this company is not necessarily like an old company, or they've been doing some of these statues. I've seen some of the other statues like this one right here, 400. They won the second ascension. I did mention the price was off too on this one, $430 for this one. But if I'm not mistaken, that was also quite a scale. When I talk about this piece, I say, you know, I think the price is up there for plastic. But I get it. You know, I can dig it. But I was thinking it's more like $350. And then went for $430 for this piece. This one to $710. I'm sorry, but that is not something that I see as, you know, don't get me wrong. The sculpt is good. But you can make this as a 1/6 and it's going to be okay. And you can go cheaper than that. This is not $700 worth, in my opinion. Particularly when you're technically just getting a PVC statue as a quarter scale. So yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. the messenger that tells sometimes companies. I don't like to do it. But lately I've been thinking, you know what? You know, I try to be as polite and professional as possible, but I'm getting to a place where I say, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to be honest, you know, on this, you know, it's not like they're paying me to promote any of this. Nobody does. You're the one that pays me when you watch my videos and when you help me financially, but also when you watch the videos and you see the ads, you're helping me. That's it. That is just stupid crazy. $710. No, I'm sorry, freeing. I think you need to go back to the drawing board and rethink the strategy of how you're approaching this. And yes, I know that they cost money and all that and produce and all that, but I don't think that I think you're looking at the market, looking at other prices and you're comparing, but you cannot compare this type of piece to other companies, what they're doing. That is just not the case. I'm sorry, but it's not. It is not a good idea. It's not. So let's move on. Definitely, I didn't want to just burst their bubble, but hey, it is what it is. Like, yeah. And the sculpt is nice. The artist did a good job on it. But I'm sorry, but $500. I can see it. I still will complain about the price, but but I would be more like, I would say, understandable, if you can say that, maybe, but this is just too much. All right, now let's move to PCS collectibles. They release all these pieces. The Cammy, there's 3 different Cammys. You got the regular, you got a red variant, and then you have a player 2. We're going to look at this. Look at this. This is $600, but look at the base, and it's made out of Polystone. It's made out of, like you can see right here, it's a statue. It doesn't say the material, but it's Polystone, or whatever you're going to call it. It is what it is. You got the collector's edition and you got the exclusive version. So there's versions. This collector's edition is the regular 400 pieces for that. The exclusive is going to have 250, but it comes with the art print. Which is something that they've been doing lately with all these pieces. Now, looking at the piece, I will tell you, of course, this is based on this suit, like this kind of like bikini thing, the beach stuff that they've been doing in the most recent game, that with this variation with this different suit. It is pretty cool. I would say the paint job looks implicit, but she's very white. So, it's like she lacks a little bit of color. What she should add a little more color, because she's at the beach anyway, so she's taking some sun, so maybe a little more red on that. I think the pose is interesting. It's really cool. They did with the sand and the water, something the concept they've been doing. Definitely she has back, as you can see. It looks cool, it's different. I prefer like more traditional Cammy look. And the way she's doing her hair, definitely very playful. It's a very sexy piece for sure. And looks really good. And you can see that the thing that they do with these pieces, I love when they do that. And definitely I like that that art print. It looks really cool. So it's definitely, you want to go for that. You pay the same price, but you get the art print if you choose between the first 250 pieces, which is cool. That is for that version. Now you get the red variant, which it has the same thing. You got the regular, and then you got the exclusive, which is even more limited number-wise, because and this is something that PCS did for years with all the Street Fighter stuff back in the day. When I was collecting the PCS stuff, the originals, when Macaluso was in charge of the company, was the owner of the company doing all the art direction. There were so many variants of everything. And I feel that now with the company, they continue with that tradition. I like that. I do like it because it's respecting something that it was said for years for many collectors to collect. And I think this new lines are better than the previous lines, although those were fantastic pieces and I own a few of them. But here you have, with that, is the same piece. I'm guessing is the same art print, and the colors are digitally painted. It's a digital paint. The colors are digitally colored. The colors are digital color. You know what I mean. So they do different variation of the color. I do like this one for some reason. I think the red light looks very interesting on this particular suit. It's technically all in red and different variations of red. Very cool. I think they're all great in some way, but I do like the red for some reason. I do like this variant, as you can see. That is cool. So that is the red variant, and now we have the white variant. So I would say that my favorite between the original and the red variant. Now let's look at the white version. Again, you get the same exclusive version, also limited to 300, 150. So the white and the red, they have very limited numbers in comparison to the regular or the green color, green and black. But this one also different color, different coloration, also very interesting. I'm sure that some collectors that already collect everything and they want to have everything, they're gonna collect the 3 pieces. That's for sure. But very cool. Definitely, Cammy has always been, since she was introduced in Street Fighter, I've always loved Cammy. I love to play with her. Definitely, she was very interesting always to play with. And if you know how to play her, definitely you can really create some damage. She's really good. So, very cool. So, this is what PCS has done. Definitely, this is a very interesting piece. I didn't really pay as much attention this week at PCS when I saw this. I was like, okay, whatever. I'll talk about it when the week at the end of the week. But I gotta be honest with you. Now looking at them, it looks really, really cool. However, it is not my favorite on this Street Fighter line. I think all the pieces that they have produced. They have produced fantastic pieces here. For the, you know, the beach design and all that. They have produced some very fascinating pieces so far, and some better than others. Like our Micah, we talk about it. Even Minute as Felicia, I think I like that piece a lot, but I think that's a bigger, no, it's the same scale. So, you know, they have the Blanca statue, very fascinating. But on the beach stuff, they have done really some interesting things. Here you see Mena Player 2. Some other pre-orders that we can see here. Definitely, I will tell you, like Elena, I love that. The way they did Helena is really cool. Also, let's see if there's any other that they have, and some have been released already. Well, I don't see them here, but there's been others like Chun-Li versions and stuff like that. So definitely, there's the, you know, the PCS always does amazing work for sure, and I love what they're doing as a company. It's interesting to see this company continue to produce amazing stuff and bring in something very unique, very PCS. You know, when you look at a piece, you know it's PCS because it has that signature style that has been respected and continues to thrive. I think the foundation was set by Macaluso really well. Things went kind of south with Macaluso when the new ownership took over, but at the same time, I feel that they understood that the way they could continue is not to really pretty much they distance themselves. Of course they distance business-wise from Macaluso, but they didn't distance themselves from the original vision, which is good. They have maintained it in some way alive with Street Fighter, with Mortal Kombat. And because people, when they think about PCS, for the most part, they're always going to think about Street Fighter and that connection that he has with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat for many years. And that's good. And they're also expanding in other lines, which is amazing. So this company is really doing amazing. All right, my friends, let's move on. And I want to say, I see there's a lot of viewers coming, and I want to say to all of you, thank you very much. Don't forget to leave a like. Let me know you're watching and that you like the content of this channel. Let me know. Leave your comments and I'll respond to them as soon as I can. I want to come to Prime 1 Studio. We almost coming to the end of this video. Almost. No, we still got some way to go, but, you know, kind of give you an idea. Prime 1 Studio, this week they release they have the Aliens Fire Team Elite, Fire Elite, which is the video game, Prowler. Very interesting. This was announced, of course, on the most recent showcase. They did the, you know, the prototype, but now this is painted. This is the bonus version. Now, I was anticipating this to be big. That's what I was thinking, that it will be a large piece, 1/3, even quarter scale. But looking at the dimensions, I don't think it's even a quarter scale. It might even be even smaller. That's the reason why they say it is a non-scale thing. It just looks really small. And the price is $700, which I think is fine. But looking at the dimensions, it's only 15 inches tall. So it might be within the quarter scale, you know, kind of an idea of it. I just find it, you know, it's not as big. Now, the bonus part comes with this. You got the Xenomorph, Overmorph, or whatever that comes with it, you know, which they've been doing with a lot of these pieces. But the only thing that I would concern with the whole thing they've been doing is that so far with all these collections, the aliens, sometimes the scales are all over the place. You know, Prime 1 Studio has been keeping all these different scales. And so people don't like that. Now, the paint job is good. The base doesn't have much difference. The red, I think definitely it's going to be interesting. 11 centimeters tall. That's what it is for this, for the bonus thing. I think it's really cool. And then you got swappable parts. But yeah, I will tell you the price, I think 38 centimeters tall, which technically will be like this. So looking at it, I'm not so sure if it's a quarter scale. I have to kind of look at the dimensions of the Prowler. If somebody knows, let me know. But it does look, in my opinion, it's not as big, and that might explain the price point. Although it might be quarter scale. Those are not as big as I thought they were. But this picture is not coming out well. There's 66 pictures. Definitely there's a lot to look at in these pieces. Although it's kind of taking a little bit to load, unfortunately, with these pictures. Trying to think. Okay, Q, you can see. I was trying to see, making sure that you still following me with the whole thing here. All right, look at this. I like the design. I want to tell you that I prefer some of the others that they have done in the past. I feel that the detail was more easier to do. I think the red and all that, of course, based on the video games, so they based it on the source material. But I feel that the red and all that has some of the detail on the base, because it does have a lot of detail on that base, but it's kind of hidden. You cannot really see as much as you saw with other pieces. So I will tell you, it's good if you're a fan of the aliens and you already want to add every alien possible. Then definitely this is an option. But I gotta be honest, I'm not necessarily crazy with it, or I don't think that is the you know, to be honest with you, I'm not as impressed with it. You know, that gotta be honest. I'm not as impressed with it. I do like the bonus version. I think it's a must with it, just to have it as a detail. It thinks as more color, actually, a more detail to the piece. I love the paint job they did here on top of it on this. But I don't know. I don't know. There's something that I cannot really pinpoint. It's something that I feel that the piece feels like perhaps it just feels too obscure. Maybe they need to lighten the paint up a little more so you can see more of the detail. Definitely that base is too dark or too gray. Maybe they can add some detail so you can see more detail, because there's detail on that sculpt for sure, but it's not seen well. You cannot really see it as well. So I think price is fair. $700 for this based on what Prime 1 does. Definitely is going to come in a big box for sure. And here you can see, and dimensions are fair, you know, it's within the standards. So it's up to you. What do you think about it? Just let me know in the comments. Now, talking about Silicon with Prime 1 Studio, I want to talk about let's go to Sideshow Collectibles, because I want to talk about another piece from Prime 1 Studio, but that now they're being released. And I talked about it before, but I try to take the chance now because maybe some people missed those videos. They didn't get the chance to watch those videos, and the opportunity is given now. And of course, this is for the statue of the Joker, the deluxe bonus version, and also Punchline. Expensive for sure. 1/3 scale if you're into 1/3 scale stuff. But I'm telling you, limited edition to 500 pieces for the bonus version. They got the collector's edition, which is the regular version. Go for the bonus. You're only paying what, $50? No, $70 more. But you get the extra things here. Interesting. You know, I love what in this case Jorge Jimenez has been doing. I think Jorge Jimenez is a phenomenal artist. I think there's a lot of future. You also can see Punchline in the back. It's nice now that Sideshow's been carrying this, and definitely helps the customers that have been interested on these pieces from the get-go. And definitely the paint job's excellent. I think this is a perfect piece for what it is, you know. There's the art print if you order, and you get this signed art by Jorge Jimenez, which I think is a nice touch on this deluxe bonus version. I think is really, really cool. But, you know, it's not the only piece that went on pre-order at Sideshow. You also have Punchline, which is the companion piece. And definitely, if you want the whole thing, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. But here you can see the difference. The deluxe version, deluxe bonus version. And I think there's also a regular version, perhaps. Yeah, they have the collector's edition. And then you got the deluxe bonus version. Now, this piece is awesome. 500 pieces. Love also the art print is excellent. So definitely, this is your chance to own it through Sideshow. If you're here in North America, we've been outside of Japan, it's too expensive, in another country, I think Sideshow will offer you a much better deal. I love the portraits on this piece. I think I like, you know, I was talking when this came out, and I talk about it when it went to pre-order. You know, I know some people they don't see Punchline as a strong character in comparison to Harley Quinn, but I think Punchline is a character that created by Jorge Jimenez that I think that has a lot of potential, that is going to grow in popularity as time progresses. And I think this is the perfect representation of Punchline, at least based on the original art, or the art that she was introduced. And I think it's excellent. I think you can see the likeness with the art. You can see that they did a fantastic job on bringing the art of Jorge Jimenez to life. They did it in a really nice way. This is a really beautiful piece, believe me. And I'm not like invested on Punchline at all, but I can see how beautiful it is, and all these different portraits that they're showcasing here. It's a cool piece. Definitely, it is a cool piece, and it's nice to see Sideshow carrying this stuff that this company, Prime 1 Studio offers. So that is always, always cool. All right, my friends, we have 2 more companies to go, but I'm going to take another quick break. And we're coming back because I have a company, is Dear Lord Studio. This company is doing really amazing, interesting, some very unique stuff. They're not based on any licenses, but their own creations. And those creations are really excellent. And also want to talk about Queen Studios releasing this stuff. Before we go, right here, Batman says, I can't wait to see how this is in folks' collection. Yeah, me too. I want to see it because so far it looks amazing. You know, like, Punchline looks amazing. I want to see it when the reviews are coming out. It's going to be amazing to look at. All right, my friends. If you have any comments, of course, leave your comments below. And now it's time for me to take my break. So just a moment. All right. All right, my friends. Thank you. Welcome back to those who are watching this. Thank you very much. Those who are being patient with me. I think I have to take breaks. Important, you know, like we spend so many hours here sitting down. It's not pleasant. In any case, it's been so far a pleasant night, and I want to say to all of you, thank you. If you're watching this here now, or if you watch this in the future, don't forget to leave a like or to comment. You can leave your comments, and definitely at some point we'll have all the timestamps to help you out to kind of go through the video. In any case, we have two more companies to talk about. I want to talk about a company called Dear Lore Studio. And for that, I want to come to Spec Fiction. We're going to come to Spec Fiction because they have it here, have it present there. Let me bring you to Spec. Definitely Spec is a company that I've seen over the years, the growth and how much stuff they have to offer, which is cool. Here you can see, and we're gonna look about these two pieces that you see right here. There's two different versions. This is a 1/6 scale version. This is a half scale version, and this is the Dark Blood series. This is something that they already have done in the past. I talked about their Lore Studio before. I talked about this piece in particular right here, Dark Blood series, the Arthur statue, which is massive and it's impressive. Well, this is part of the same series. Eye of the Devil Balor, 1/6 scale statue. We're looking at the 1/6, which is, I think the price is, as a 1/6, $295. I think it's an excellent price. Edition size of 300 pieces. This is not something that I will, or get for me, but if some people like this type of like mystical type of thing, or they like this type of monsters, look at this size. It's a 1/6 scale. The 1/6 scale is, the 1/6 scale is 35 centimeters. Which I think is standard. And then the half scale is 110 centimeters. It's super large, but that base has a lot of detail. Look at the base. It's the same thing. It's a smaller version. It's like it's some type of dragon in the back. Definitely very demonic. You can use the expression here. Not something that I care much about. But I wanted to point it out because interesting what they're doing with this versions, and I'm sure I have friends that they love this kind of thing. I have all sort of friends. Although I'm a Christian, I have friends from all different backgrounds of life, all of that, and I have friends that they love these monsters and things like this, and demons and things like that, and dragons, and that's what they collect. So I respect them for what they do. They express the art. They love the art in certain way, different than I see it. $295, I think, is a good price for something at this scale. Now, the half scale piece is more expensive, of course, because of the size. You're looking at $2,325, which is expensive. But look at this one. It has with that eye, as you can see right there. Of course, as this half scale is going to have a lot of more detail, it's going to be huge. It's just over 1 meter tall. And then you have the different, and exclusive, you have the eye, which I think it has a light up feature, perhaps. Or it just kind of, depending on the light, it can shine. It's definitely something that I would not add. And this is something that they had created themselves. And it has polyresin. It has an LED function. So yeah, it does have an LED for that eye. $3,000, $2,000, only limited to 258 pieces. Definitely. This is just for those who are looking. This company, Dear Lore, I think is based in China. And they're doing really interesting stuff. This one, the 1/6, doesn't have the extra eye, which maybe that also helps with the price. Maybe they couldn't just simply add an eye, perhaps like LED, which LEDs are not expensive, really. That could just add a little bit more of that price point. So interesting. This company doing something very different, very unique. And for that, we can praise them. Now, while we're here at Spec Fiction, I want to move to another company, which is going to be the final company of the night, and we're going to talk about Queen Studios. We're talking about these two pieces right here. A Little Battle Angel. This piece, people are excited for it. There's two different versions. You got a quarter scale piece, and then you have a life-size piece. And actually, there's two life size. There's a regular standard size, and then you have the deluxe size. Let's start first with the quarter scale piece, which is the one that most folks are going to order. The one more affordable, $749, released on the fourth quarter of 2023. Edition size of 599 pieces, made out of resin, polyurethane, and real fabric. This one has a sculpted hair. I think it's good. You know, I love this. Of course, I love the manga, one of my favorite mangas of all time. And I do like what they did here, of course, based on the film. So I think I still like the film too. I wish that there was a second film at some point that we can get to see this expansion. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But I think they did a good job with it. You know, it's interesting. Now, the only thing I would say on the position of the arm, which she's about to fight, at some points and some angles, he covers her face. You know, like I wish it was in a different position with maybe a little more lower when she's doing this, so that way you can see her face at that angle. But that angle is like that is covering her face, which I'm not necessarily a fan. But perhaps they just basing it on some of the movie, of course, and some visual reference of the film. I just feel that they could have just taken the liberty just to bring the arm down a little bit, just to because to be honest with you, the pose is kind of weird. Like she's about to fight, and she's a fighter. If you know, not only based on the film, you base it on the manga. She's a fighter because she's been trained to kill, and that position of boxing is kind of like stupid. If you know how to box, if you have been boxing in the past, you're familiar with boxing, you're familiar with fighting, or even Street Fighter. That position is a bit of like, okay, like I'm definitely, you're just putting yourself out there to be beaten. I don't know if it's just the way it is because the actress doesn't have any background as a boxer or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels weird. But yeah, definitely it's not the actress because definitely they did, I think her body was it. They did something to change her face and features in the film. It's still, I like, you know, it's not a bad piece and definitely it's interesting. Doll body, which is the, you know, it's basically the definition of the body that she has. Or the name also come from the manga, but it's cool. Definitely, I would say for the price $750, I understand it. But now going to the one that is expensive, you got the standard edition and you got the deluxe edition. Now, the difference with these pieces is just the base, but the standard, just the poor man version. With these are half scale pieces. Now the half scale versions. The poor man version is $10,000, $11,000 at that price point. Look at that. Only made for 99 pieces. It's going to have the rooted hair, which is another thing that they do, which we know is going to add value. I still find it, even as and it's going to be platinum silicone, so you're going to use the natural feel. So this is going to be premium. Real fabric and resin. It should be real fabric at this price point. It's expensive. Here you have the product information, but technically what they're doing on the regular version is just the base. They have this simple base, which don't mind. I think the base is simple, but at the same time, you know, I think at this, you can go with it. I think that's what it is. Let me look at this because that's what it says. Standard life-size statue. Now, the deluxe version is available here. Product information is a master series. It doesn't say because it's actually showing you the same pictures of all. But if I'm not mistaken, the standard version, it's just the difference is the base. But here in the pictures, you get also the others, which I think is wrong. I think they posted the same pictures. And here you can see an idea of the scale and dimension with this guy. Definitely is big. This is a movie type prop, you know, like something that, look at that skin. Looks so realistic, like a real person. Your own real Alita. Wow, life-size statue. And the vase, definitely interesting. The standard version, again, the standard edition is the one with a simple vase. So yeah, we're using the pictures in general for all of them. And here, that gives you an idea of the scale. So $10,000, $1,100 you're paying for that, which is, oh my God, I can buy a car with that. Although cars are becoming expensive, but I can buy a very cheap car with that price. And, oh, this is the quarter scale. We already talked about it. And then you have the deluxe version. If you want to spare some more money, then you almost $14,000 and $1,400. You know, $14,100. You know, that's what you're paying right here. Look at that. And 99 pieces. So they're gonna have the same. So it's 99 pieces for this one, and 99 pieces for the standard. So ultimately, it's gonna be 200 total. The difference is what type of base you like. You want a simpler base, or you want a more, you know, more artsy base with all the details of the movie, whatever. Tough choice. I actually like the simpler base. I gotta be honest, because of this life size at this point. I understand at the quarter scale, I like it like that, but on the large piece, I feel that it's better just go with a simpler base like this. Although it depends on the person I feel that with the whole base, it's not as necessary. Now, I'm guessing this is not going to be made out of polystone. I'm guessing this is going to fiberglass perhaps for that base. And it says material says resin. But it's going to, as a base like that, it's going to be a heavy base. And perhaps that's the reason why the price is so steep. Because that base alone, if it's all polystone or resin, which I doubt they're going to do it, it's more like I will use other type of materials to be very sturdy. You don't want to step on polystone for sure when you're setting this up because it's so wide. But in any case, it's $14,000. Those prosthetic eyes, that resin looks so natural. The skin looks so natural. It's really, really interesting. But yeah, if you have $15,000 to spare, by all means, go for it. Because yeah, you're gonna spend $50,000 when you have to count all the shipping costs and all of that. $15,000 versus $11,000 is whatever. It's up to you. It's a very cool looking piece, no doubt about it. But is it worth it? That much money? No, I mean, I wouldn't pay that much. I think it's for the ultra rich that have plenty much money to spare for sure. All right, my friends, that's about it. That's it. I'll wait for a few more minutes. If there's anything that you want to share, any comments that you want to add to the whole thing, definitely it's been an interesting day. I'll wait for the comments and we'll take it from there. But I want to say to our people who are watching and everyone else, I want to say thank you very much for being supportive of this channel. To be honest, I've been thinking about doing changes. I really don't know how to make those changes, and I'm really gonna ask you as a friend and my friends to just gonna let me know what you think about the channel. What is it that you would like to see? You know, I know my problem that I have right now is my time. You know, I think my life has changed in many ways, but also my perspective of life is changing. And one of them is, what is the priority? You know, like I did prioritize for some time this channel a lot, you know, like that was part of my life, you know, for a time, you know, for a few years, I did invest my time. This became my full-time job and I didn't make much money out of it, but it was a passion that I was pursuing. And of course, once the money run dry and there's time for you start looking into something, that's when I went back to work. And since last year it's been like an event, and finally I have a job where I feel more comfortable with. Still, there's a lot of opportunities. I've been thinking about going back to school to expand my horizons again. I've been thinking about those things. What the future will be, I don't know. But at the same time, I'm trying to live every day as it comes. I'm coming to the place in my life where I feel like sometimes we're always looking for greener pastures and everything, and sometimes life is right there in front of us. The good things are in front of us. So I try now to enjoy life in front of me rather than thinking about what the future is going to be or if life will be better there. I would love for this channel to be big. I would love for the channel to be sustainable, like self-sustainable. But it didn't work out that way. Do I feel bad? No, because at the same time, when you have a channel like this and that becomes your only source of income, then you have to kind of try to fight every day, try to stay relevant. And in that way, it's like you sacrifice in that process yourself, because your truthfulness, who you are inside or what you want to be, you know, because as a person, you know, I wake up every day in a different way. Some days I wake up wanting to talk about this. Some days I want to talk about other things. Some days I want to do this. I want to, you know, and when you have to kind of work on a channel where you have to build it this way or that way, then you technically that takes a little bit of your that essence of who you are as a person, because now you are trying to prove your worth to other people or trying to make sure that people continue to come and watch. So that's where I'm at. You know, that's where I'm at right now, on the sense that I'm just enjoying the ride. I'm just trying to. I'm learning now, which has been difficult because it's not necessarily who I am, because I'm very tactical. I'm a planner. I like to look ahead. I like to make plans. But I'm trying to see that life is in front of me. The good things are in front of me. And enjoy every step. Like, I make these videos. I enjoy them. Some days I don't have the energy to do them. And that's the reason perhaps sometimes I don't do it on the same day. But I just want to just be me. And I talk about this, but there are a lot of things that I still would like to do with this channel. There are a lot of things that I would like to try, and I have other channels to worry about. I have my gaming channel. By the way, I might just come this week. I didn't pre-order the Modern Warfare 2. I want to play it. I think the beta is going to open maybe tomorrow for everyone. So tomorrow I might just download it and play it on the channel, on my gaming channel. So stay tuned. If you haven't followed me on my gaming channel, please follow me there. Just subscribe to the channel there. I'm trying to make videos, but I want to just be me, you know, like I want to do that. You know, I love gaming. It's one big part of my life too. Of the things that I enjoy. I've been thinking about going back to the podcast. Next month, October, we're going to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the podcast. No, the 10th anniversary. The 4th year, the 4th anniversary. The 4th anniversary, 4 years of the podcast. And we're getting closer to the 10th anniversary of this channel. We're really close. I think it's in November, perhaps. Or October too. I don't remember. It's sometime soon. I think already... this channel, let me go back because I was thinking about it too. I was like, wait a minute, how long we've been doing this? I'll tell you. It's hard to know, but I know we're getting closer. I'm getting closer to 10 years here. I don't know if I'm already about to or already surpassed it. I will let you know. I think almost at the end of the year. I think it's around November, Thanksgiving or something like that. Or perhaps before Thanksgiving. I don't know. It's October or something. It's going to be 10-year anniversary. 10 years doing this. 10 years. Amazing. 10 years of my life pour into this. It's amazing to think that I'm still doing it because a lot of people that they start doing it during that time, they're no longer doing it. Or they move away from it. And, you know, they stop doing it. That makes me one of the oldest. Or perhaps the oldest. Still doing statues or talking about statues. But in any case, I don't get trophies for that. It's not like people give you an award for doing that for so long. But it has given me insight. It has given me opportunities to look at things and what it is. And you're never going to see me like trying to be like, oh, trying to make a video every day about a lot of things, you know, like not anymore. You know, I don't feel like I have to. I just do what I want to do when I want to do it. I definitely would like to go back to comics, but there's the space has been filled with so many people talking about omnibuses. I wish I would go back. A lot of people love those videos. And I love to talk about those things. I would love to talk about movies again or review movies in the channel. I will definitely would love to go back to the podcast now that we're serving the 4th anniversary. I want to kickstart the 4th anniversary again, the podcast, and I don't know how we're going to do it. On my spiritual channel, I've been thinking about changing the name for a while, but I don't know how I'm going to change it to. And I want to talk about more about life, you know, spiritual things, you know, but also talk about life from not from a religious standpoint, but talk about life, you know, and share life, and because I think at the end of the day, every human being is a spiritual. We always spiritual in one way or the other. We always looking for the truth. We're always looking for fulfillment and joy, and all those are spiritual things, and peace of mind. It's just finding the balance, you know, I think at the end. So I want to kind of go back to those things, but only time can tell, my friends. And definitely I'm already feeling this video with more stuff that perhaps that's not what I wanted to do, but it's just sharing my heart to you. And I want to say again, thank you very much. It's been a journey. It's still a journey. It's still something that I don't know what the future will bring, but you know, it's been fun. It continues to be fun every day. You make it fun, and your friendship and your loyalty makes it, to me, worthwhile. So I want to say to all of you, my friends, have a great weekend. All of you, I wish you all the best. I don't know what plans you have tomorrow or anything. And I want to say to all of you, thank you very much for doing that. And let me type this here very quick. Thanks for watching. And I'm just typing this. I want to make sure. I want to make sure that everyone gets it. And I want to say, hey, thank you, Batman. Thank you. No, thank you, my friend. And thank you for your friendship, because you follow me on Instagram. You like my stuff very, very much. And you always sharing stuff there as well. And it's nice talking to you. And it's nice that you come. And I know that you're busy, man, too. You have a family. But when you get a chance to come here, I appreciate it. And all of you, every person, late night trip too, my friend. I thank you very much. You know, Jason, thank you for stopping by. Everyone that has taken the opportunity to come tonight. Let me see who else was here. We also have Luis Mendoza. Thank you very much. All of you. I appreciate it. You know, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to all of you. God bless you. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And perhaps see if the beta goes on Modern Warfare tomorrow, if it's available to download, I'll download it. And if you get a chance to play tomorrow night, I'll play tomorrow night. So I'll let you know so you can join me, at least to say hello and watch me play. I'm not the best player in the world, but I'm not the worst either. So peace to all of you. Have a great night, and I'll see you again.